Well, you're going to have to let them see that this on the back of that shirt at some point.
On the back of the shirt?
Yeah, because you almost can't even tell it's an ignorant nerd shirt.
You kind of can tell.
You can.
You can. A little bit.
Yeah, we out here. We in these streets.
We in these streets. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, we look good. Everything look good.
We need an intro. We got to come up with a bomb ass intro.
We got to come up with a bomb ass intro. Dun, 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 dun. Hey!
Ignorant podcast. I'm one half ignorant nerd. Tico, one half ignorant.
No, I'm the other half. The other half to smash. Just in front of my face.
Let's get to it.
You ready? Hey, what's going on? We are back. Welcome to the Ignorant Nerds Podcast. I'm one half of the host situation here, Cowboy, and this is
Chuck.
Oh!
Brownsville, Brooklyn, stand up. Y'all know how we start this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So check it out. Episode 2. We're glad you guys are back with us. We're going to run over some things that we started out with the first purchase,
yep.
Right? And got some things, some safety things and self-defense things out of the way in episode 1. Episode 2, now we've got the firearm home. Yeah. Okay. So now we'll go through some things, do's and don'ts, safety rules at the home, right? We kind of did that a little bit. I don't think we really touched on the 4 major safety rules, pointed down range, nothing behind your target, that's up there. So we'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
We'll get into
firearm safety rules.
So to start, the first thing I would say is talking about bringing the firearm home. You've purchased it. It's in the box. You're bringing it home. As a salesman, what do you think or what do you believe is the first thing someone should do when they bring the firearm home?
All right. Good question. One of the first things I would do is start educating myself on that firearm. Right? Maybe go and click on a YouTube video such as the Ignorant Nerd Podcast so I can get more informed about the firearm, on how to take the gun apart. One of the things I would do is to inspect it. I would take it apart. I would lubricate it, right? Because those things are important. A lot of the firearms that we get when they new come with a lot of factory grease on it. So you want to get rid of that factory grease and throw a small little lubrication on there. Okay. You off and running.
All right, 10-4. On my end of it, I think that on the way home, after buying so many firearms, is picking up somewhere to keep it, a safe, or having a place in mind. Sometimes, a safe is only as good as the person who's trying to get into it. That's right. A criminal is going to get into whatever they want to get into. Yeah. So if you have a storage spot, kids in the home, things like that, be thinking about that, bringing the firearm home. Where I'm going to store it, how I'm going to store it, and we'll get into storing it, loaded, unloaded.
Yeah, because I got some crazy stories about those kind of topics as far as customers coming back like, hey, do you guys got spare keys for the So we'll get into it.
Okay. Yeah. So safety kind of rules. I would say first thing for me is getting a good set of ear and eye pro. Yeah. The eye pro is going to be safety glasses. I mean, you can get anything you want. I'm bougie. I wear Oakley Sutro safety glasses, and they're like $200, but like a $2 set of safety glasses works fine.
But some people actually wear glasses for a living.
So if you have glasses,
you can skip out on that unless you don't want to just scratch them up. Because some people are afraid of scratch. Brads popping back. I've seen people like, even though I got glasses, I'd still prefer some safety glasses over top of them. So
okay. So when it comes to safety glasses, it is what it is. As long as you have something that's, I think it's ASMI. I think is the nomenclature for safety. Excuse me. Ear Pro. Right, ear protection. We short. It's Ear Pro. So if you're in the gun store, you hear someone talking about, or at the range talking about Ear Pro, it's ear protection. You have electronic, which will have a volume knob on it, so you can hear and communicate. And then you just have regular set of Ear Pro, which is not electronic, which means it's going to mute the noise by a certain amount of decibels. It's normally like 23 decibels up to like 30 or something like that. Be wary of those because you can't hear well. Right. So if you're going to get instruction, like we had discussed previous, about finding a trainer or an instructor, make sure you get some electronic. I think they run about $50.
About 50.
About $50. I run a set of walkers with the Bluetooth in it. It's not advisable to listen to music and stuff while you're at a gun range and everything like that. But when I'm out at the property or when I'm out somewhere where I'm by myself or it's just me and Chuck or something like that, I might have a little music playing while I'm shooting long range with a rifle. Pistol, never. I don't ever turn it on with the pistol because I think I got more things that can go wrong with a rifle. I'm normally bolt action. It's, one trigger pull, one shot, and then I have to manipulate it in order to do that. And the music's never playing loud, right? It's just something kind of calms my nerves. We listen to music out at the long range anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just kind of gets you into a not so serious mood but it is serious.
Yeah.
So I think, so we talked about a safe. It can be anything from a lockbox. Simple.
Let's not forget the little foamies that go inside.
Oh, also, yeah, there are phone plugs.
Yeah,
there are phone plugs. So, and I'm glad you said that, Chuck, because there are people who wear two sets of earplugs.
Yeah.
And some people who the electronic doesn't muffle it enough. It's like milliseconds that it shuts off, right? And it doesn't muffle it enough, so they wear the earbuds in there and the actual muffs on top.
If you shoot a lot or you're exposed to a lot of loud noises, hearing loss is a real thing.
That is correct.
So some people will double up. They're, like I said, especially with electronics. Not normally with the standard ones. With electronics, you normally see people run plugs under them.
Yeah. Okay. So small safe. I think, $80 or something like that. It's one of those little hand safes. The
biometrics, one of the biometrics.
Yeah, one thing I see about that is a lot of people do that is they don't bolt them down.
Yeah.
Right? So they have holes in the bottom where you're supposed to bolt them down to your dresser or something like that, and they just put them in and they don't bolt them down. So, and that has to do with thieves and robbery and stuff like that. They'll just come pick the whole box up. Quick tidbit for those that have those small safes. About that yay big or whatever. If it's two criminals that come breaking your house, they can pick that up, take it.
Absolutely.
You can bolt that to a wall or bolt it to the ground and do provide more protection. But all the way up to a big safe, 64 gun safes, or even a gun cabinet, which is just a metal box, glorified safe, but it's got a key to it. It basically is to keep kids and other curious peoples that may be in the home out of the situation. So I think as far as gun safety, never keep your ammo in the same place as your gun, right? Or in the same safe. Now, that's what I've heard before. In certain situations, I do keep certain guns with ammo in them. Those are the ones that I'm taking to the range. But the magazines are kept in a different pocket than the guns are. So.
All right. So all of this is subjective, right? All of these are just opinions. Everybody have different opinions on this. I'm a proponent of where my firearm is at. My magazine is next to it. In case you got to get to it fast, you never know when you're going to be in the house. When bad things happen, you probably get caught unexpected. So just me, myself. If I got a gun in the safe, the magazine is in the safe with it. You do things a little different from me, but that's just me.
But I do have like a bunch of guns in every safe. So
it
would be monotonous for me to try to keep a loaded ammo for
everything.
Absolutely. But the ones I do everyday carry, the ones I take to the range pretty much every other day, those do have magazines that are loaded. My AR-15 rifle mags are loaded on the door.
Yeah,
but not all of them.
Right, I'm not saying a magazine inside the gun with the chamber. I'm just saying if the firearm is sitting there, it's a magazine next to it, so I can get to it quick. That's what I'm saying.
That's correct. And that all plays into what we're going to get into a little bit later on, talking about dry fire and stuff like that. And that way you don't have any mix-up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially what we're going to talk about.
I mean, I can understand the opposition of both sides, right? Why not and why you should. So I understand both sides.
Right. Okay. Let's see. Do's and don'ts. Making sure that you have the correct ammunition.
Correct.
I'm sure you've seen it. I think I've been at the shop before when somebody come in and say, "Hey, I need some 380 for my gun." You pop the gun box open, it's a 9mm or a 40 cal, and they're looking for 9mm and don't even know.
And that's not just a part of being like I don't want to say ignorant, but that's not safe.
Not at all.
I had a gentleman come in one day and he's like, "Hey, look, my firearm not working. I can't get around in the chamber. I'm pulling the trigger, yada yada. The gun won't go bang." And so I grabbed the firearm from him first of all.
Right.
So I check it out. I'm like, "Oh man, we got an issue here." He has a 5.56 that he's trying to shoot 300 blackout through. I said, "Bro, you lucky."
Yeah.
You lucky. So I gave him a little educational tips, He's like, "How did you know?" He didn't know, but you lucky, brother. That could have ended bad.
That brings up a point real quick. AR-15 platform, I think we're jumping a little bit ahead real quick, but since you mentioned that, because that is super dangerous, barrels will come apart. You will have major receiver functions and malfunctions in the
gun
chamber.
blow up in your face, brother.
Gun blow up in your face from having the wrong ammunition in there. Now, what I think the common people need to understand is there are guns that you can chamber the wrong round into, and you will assume that it works, right? But it'll be catastrophically. It'll end catastrophically, right? Because you don't know what caliber of the gun you have. Now, the number one thing I would say is mark. I mark all my magazines with what gun they go to and the caliber. I think you've seen that when we were looking at it. So it makes it easier for me to know that I've got the right magazine for the right gun.
Do you know how I get away with that? I am such I've seen so many people. I don't carry a lot of different calibers.
Right.
Like all my handguns are 9mm.
Right.
Most of my ARs are 5.56.
Right.
Maybe 1 or 2 300 blackout. So I don't really have that issue. But there's people who love different calibers, right? And that's when it normally happens. People got 45 ACP, 40 Smith & Wesson 9mm. So that's where the mix-up happen. For somebody like me, like I said, I stick to my 9mm and my 5.56 typically, for the most part.
For those that do like it, and I'll finish it and we'll get to the next point. Those that do like it, like 300 blackout, 5.56, mark the rifle.
Absolutely.
Red rubber band,
absolutely,
or whiteout, silver Sharpie.
Look, they specifically make rubber bands that say 5.56 or 300 blackout
for the magazines.
For the magazines, correct?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Now, do they make something for the rifle?
No.
So marking the rifle is the best bet. Just so you know, or if you got a red band that says 300 blackout, put a red rubber band on the handguard. So you know yellow means 5.56, red means 300 blackout, green means 6.5 cream. It'll change. Yeah. That's different. But I'm just saying we're giving different calibers.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got the gun home. We're being safe with it. Now we're talking about cleaning the firearm, which I know is your favorite subject because you like to clean the shit out of everything you got. Doesn't matter if you put a couple rounds or 2,000, you're fixing to clean it. So we want to get into disassembly, reassembly, the location and the names of the parts so everybody can get an understanding of what the different parts of the firearms are. Pistols, I can get a rifle. We can do rifles as well. I think we might, if we got time, we'll go through it. But we'll do pistols for sure. I think that's the majority of what people have in the ethos is pistols.
Absolutely.
Okay, so and that's what we're going to concentrate on is what you guys would normally have the most of versus us because we get to see a bunch of different firearms every day. Also, how and where to clean, where to lubricate, and the areas of concern for failure.
Correct.
Okay, where the gun can fail on you. All right. First things first, we have a Smith & Wesson M&P Spec Series and a Glock 45 MOS. We also have Chuck's new Glock 45, I believe it is, right? With the acro, it's custom cut for the acro. It comes with the acro from Glock.
No, not from Glock, from Lipsy.
Okay, so not from Glock, right? So Glock does conglomerate. What would they call that? Like, I don't know. Fuck, I'm at a loss for
brain fart.
Yeah, it's a brain fart. Whatever. They do guns. A lot of manufacturers will do a gun with a certain designer.
Correct.
Let's call it, and then kind of come out with different things. Like CZ did something with Dan Wesson for the DWX.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So you'll find that in a lot of the gun industry where they'll kind of team up with certain things or even certain optics brands to come out with something that comes there. So real quick, we'll pull the Glock. Basically, I'll take this apart real quick.
But before you do that, please let's show that it's clear. So.
Oh, okay, yeah, because we know it was
Please.
clear. So I hope everybody would know it was clear because I just brought it off of this stand right here, so the magazine couldn't have been in it. And we always have them open to show that they're clear and everything. And that's my mistake, and I hate that. But we knew they were clear. We had done this before we got on here, and we want to make sure it's safe. So basically, gun's clear. You can see nothing in there, right? For the Glock, I think we will go through what it takes to take it apart. Right, and clean it. I'm going to hand this to you because Chuck's the aficionado. I just clean guns. Chuck's a professional fucking cleaner, and that's how it just goes. So when it comes to it, I'll explain some parts while Chuck's kind of breaking that down. Basically, you're going to have a slide. you're going to have the barrel, you're going to have the recoil spring. Within the slide, you're going to have the, if it's striker fired, you're going to have the striker and the spring. If it's hammer fired, you're going to have the hammer, the sear, trigger mechanism. All of them's going to have a trigger bar or of some sort to activate the sear at the rear of the gun. Real quick, I'm going to let Chuck go ahead and kind of jump into the frame and what components are inside of that. Go ahead for me, Chuck.
All right, so in the frame, in this particular gun, we have the, like I said, the Glock 45 MOS model, striker fire, 17 round magazine capacity. We have the trigger housing sitting back here. We have the lock and block. And that's pretty much it. I mean, a Glock in total only has 33 parts, which is why it's one of the reasons why it's my favorite gun. It's not a lot of components to this gun. It's easy to take apart, it's easy to maintain, and it's easy to clean. But literally in this part right here, and also when you're cleaning, you don't really have to do much down here because there's not a lot of debris, not a lot of carbon, not a lot of gunpowder get down here. So this is pretty much a wipe down and just re-oil the rails. We'll go over it in more detail. But literally, once you take this gun apart, you just wipe these rails down and you can set this to the side. Right here on the slide, where we have the striker inside. It's a little hard to show from here.
Let me slide your microphone out the way a little bit so you can.
Yeah, so internally, all right, we got an end plate back here, right? So on the inside here, we have the striker. We have the striker spring. We have the extractor on this side right here. And then that's pretty much the slide. This is where it houses the barrel and the recoil spring. And again, this is nothing more than a wipe down when you're cleaning it. This is nothing more than a wipe down. And where you want to re-lubricate that is just the rails, right? So we're going to re-lubricate the rails, and we're going to set this to the side. This is the barrel.
The barrel.
Again, all you want to do is wipe this down. You kind of want to be careful with how you. All right, so if you're pushing the cleaning rod through here, right? We never want to go through the barrel through this side, right? This is the side that the bullet exit, right? We always want to go through the chamber side, right? I know this is most of you people in the YouTube world know this already, but we got a lot of states where they're not privy to firearms, especially the state where I come from, New York City. We're not privy to this information, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm sure at some point this is helping a lot of people, right? So on this side, we got the chamber side. We always want to go through the chamber side out that way, right? We never want to go from the muzzle side down, right? So again, a couple patches through here, re-lubricate, you're done. The recoil spring, literally, this is a wipe down and a little bit of oil on this one, and it's not much to this, bro. This doesn't get dirty. It doesn't get fouled up a lot. Again, you just take a little rag, wipe it down, throw a little bit of oil on it, and you're done. One of the issues a lot of people have is once they clean a gun, they soak it in oil, right? These guns, after you fire a few rounds, you're gonna see some wear and tear on your barrel, right? So that's where you want to lubricate. When you know it's metal on metal, where the metal meets metal, those are parts you want to lubricate. You don't want your gun soaking in oil, because not only does oil attract dirt, it can cause malfunctions in your firearm, all right? So again, less is more in firearms, and that's why I love the Glock, because it doesn't take much.
Awesome. I'll jump in real quick to kind of add up onto what Chuck is talking about. And the reason he's saying don't go from the muzzle end into the chamber is because you're pushing all the dirt into the chamber where the actual casing and the bullet or projectile. I think bullet is the compounded word for the entire cartridge,
yes,
right? You have the casing and you have the projectile and you have the powder inside and the primer, right? So those are the quick 4 basic components. So you don't want to put all that into your chamber.
And also too, inside your barrel you have rifling, right? So you don't want to go the opposite way, because you can damage your rifling in there.
They won't be able to see
Yeah.
it, but it's one of those things there. Also, I use what's called a snake, a bore snake.
Absolutely.
When I'm cleaning, it's got bristles on it. It's got the cloth.
Yep.
It's in a rope. You just drop it down there. I pull it through 2-3 times.
Yep, that's it.
And it's over with. I put a little oil right there, right before where the actual bristles are, and it pulls the oil, scrubs the bristles, and then it wipes it clean on the other end. That's the easiest for me. I used to use the patches and everything.
Yeah,
absolutely. Finding the
bore snake, bore snake is amazing. You can have this gun taken apart, cleaned, and put back together in less than 30 minutes. It doesn't take much, right? A lot of times people make this process a little more difficult than what it is. I see Q-tips and all these weird things come out. You don't need it.
I got those in that drawer right below you.
Yeah. But, I mean, for the average shooter, right? Let's say some people going to go to the range, they're going to fire 100 rounds. Mm-hmm. You don't even have to clean the gun at that point.
Right.
But if you are, this is what you do, and you don't overdo it. So.
Right. There are extra things that you can get into. I'm not real big on putting bore cleaner in there. There will be, excuse me, the projectile is copper jacketed lead. You will have bits and pieces of copper jacket inside the rifling of the barrel, and you will have lead deposits in there. Now, after so many rounds, you're probably going to run some bore cleaner down there to try to get the lead deposits out. Most of your regular gun cleaner is really going to get some of the soot, powder stuff out of the residue and get some of the lead out. Copper, and then to get the lead out, it sticks a little bit more to the steel. You use a bore solvent and let it sit in there for a couple of minutes, and then brush it out, and you're good to go.
But believe it or not, that's getting down to white glove cleaning.
Yeah.
I don't do that with my pistols.
Yeah. That's what I said. I do rifles.
Absolutely.
I get down
pistols.
To it.
I don't,
because we're going long range.
Yeah,
it will affect accuracy.
Correct.
Here,
correct.
A little lead fouling or something like that's not going to affect nothing.
No, absolutely not.
20 yards and
10 yards, 15 yards.
Right.
No.
Right. So, and that's what it's going to be too. I have here as well as a Smith & Wesson M&P, and I just want to show that it's not much difference of a takedown on it. The Smith & Wesson M&Ps have a takedown lever where the Glock has a spring action retainer that you just have to pull the slide back a little bit and hit the retainer, let it go, pull the trigger, and pull the slide off the top. That's why it is super important to make sure that your barrel is empty and your mag well is actually empty. The magazine is nowhere near the gun. If it is, there's no ammunition in it. Basically, with the M&P, it has a lever that just goes down once you put it in the full slide lock. You undo it off of the slide lock, pull the trigger, and the slide slides off just like we did with the Glock. Okay, same thing. You'll find out. Recoil spring here, right here, so I can show it. Well, I can't take the barrel off of this one because there's a comp on it, but the barrel would slide out, and then you basically have the slide, recoil spring, and barrel. Same situation as the Glock. There's a few more parts in the Smith & Wesson. I think it's got 45 or something like that. But as you can see, it's pretty much the same on the inside. Trigger bar, your sear, everything's back there. This is... No, it's not. That's striker fried. It looked like an internal hammer on there.
That's not. It's just
So anyway, I learn shit new every day. It is what it is. But just to show that this one I've shot probably about 600 rounds through it.
a good shooting gun too, by the way.
Right. It shows a little sign of some buildup in dirt. Right. So I normally run about 500 to 1,000 rounds, and I'll run through a clean. And I'm that way. Chuck cleans more than I do. But I use the ultrasonic cleaner and all that stuff there, so it's pretty much a deep clean every time I run it clean. He's doing a service clean, a duty clean more than anything, which will keep the guns running absolute tip top, no problem. Okay. So with me on Smith & Wessons, to make it easy, you guys, when you are putting drops of oil on the slide in the rails, like Chuck had said earlier, you put drops at the back end, because when you slide it back onto the frame, it's actually going to grease all the rails all the way back there and make sure we get oil on everything. You can run oil all the way down the rails. That's no problem. That's not an issue. You just don't want to overdo the grease in there, because when you start firing it, it's going to spatter at you. It'll get in your face. It'll get on your hands and stuff like that. You'll see that you got it.
And let me specify something, because I know a lot of you guys be in the comment like, oh, you clean too. Listen, you clean your gun how you decide to clean your gun. Whether it's 5 rounds or 1,000 rounds, that's just who I am. So go fuck off if you think I clean my gun too much. Yeah. They always told me when I was growing up, cleanliness is next to godliness. So,
these are God's guns, son.
There you go, baby.
These are God's guns,
son.
Go, baby. Shit me.
You do what you do with your firearm. I do what I gotta do with my firearm.
All right. So, oiling, right? Springs, anything that's metal and moves against other metal, you want to put some oil on it. Right. When it comes to the barrel, there's what's called the hood that's above the chamber. That rubs against the bottom of the underside of the top of the slide and the top of the hood. That's where you get a lot of action, and then the barrel right in front of that area will get a lot of wear too, which is right there where the slide sometimes contacts the top or bottom of the barrel. And you can see that he's demonstrating that right now as the top of that hood. It'll just start sliding. So that's a brand new gun, so it's not going to show any wear on there. I wonder, does my M&P show the wear? It does. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm going to put that up there. It's a little bit. Probably can't see it. Fuck it. I'm not going to do it. Anyway, but there is a little bit. You can see it starts to wear at the front. Metal on metal.
And then, when you see that happen, right, don't start complaining like, the paint on my finish is wearing off fast. You know what that's called? It's called you actually fucking shooting a gun.
Bitching. That's
right.
What it's called.
No, it's called you shooting a gun, right? If you use a goddamn gun, it's not, the minute you take that gun home and you fire around, it's never going to be in that pristine condition that it once was. These are tools, right? We use these as tools. They're not made to stay looking pretty once you start firing them. So, again, a lot of times people come in here like, hey, my paint on the barrel is rubbing off. I've got 2,000 rounds. Yeah, it's cool. You fucking using a gun. Use it.
I always tell somebody when they say something like that, so you got a hammer at the house? Yeah, let me see it. Does it still work? Does it still drive nails?
Correct.
I know there's scratches and all kind of stuff on it, but you've been holding that hammer for 10 years. It's still good, right?
Yeah, because I mean, you come to the range with me, we throwing guns in the dirt.
We're doing it all.
We pushing it to the limit. We want to know. Right? So don't complain, don't cry if you see a scratch on your gun, if it get a little nick on the gun. You know, some people be like, I only want a leather holster because I don't want some people concerned about the holster marks. Grow a pair.
Yeah.
Sit your ass down.
So here's a big thing, too, because I do paint jobs and stuff on rifles, pistols, Cerakote, Duracoat, rattle can
I should have
jobs.
bought my rifle that you did. Yeah.
Rattle can paint jobs. It's going to wear out. Don't let nobody lie to you and say Cerakote doesn't wear out. It wears out, and especially if you use it. Yeah. Okay, because I've got plenty of guns that are Cerakoted, and they got wear marks. Duracoat, wear marks. Rattle can, wear marks.
But that's the problem, too. So a lot of people buy a lot of these guns. You got safe queens, right? Mm-hmm. They got all these firearms, and they sitting in the safe. Nobody's using the guns, and they tell you, I got 10,000 guns, and you never shot a round through none of them.
Yeah. And that's the one thing you'll find out about me is as we go on, I do have a collection. I shoot them all.
You really do.
I mean, I'll come with 3 or 4 every time I come with 3 or 4 different guns.
Yeah.
My thought process on it is, A, it gives me something to do so I can clean guns when I get home because I really ain't got shit else to do. All right. But B, it lets me be able to run the different platforms and make sure that the mechanics, the biomechanics that I'm using to shoot work across platforms because there might become a day where I got to pick up Chuck's Glock 45 because he's injured and we're in a gun battle for some reason. You know what I'm saying? And I need to be able to know how to work his gun.
Well, why the fuck I gotta be injured?
I mean,
why you can't be injured and I gotta pick up your gun?
Well, if I'm injured, how the fuck am I shooting back?
Oh, you got a point there.
See what I'm saying?
Carry on.
Right? Okay. So let's do, like Jay does that, right?
Yeah.
When we go shoot, he says scenario.
Yeah.
You just got shot in your right arm.
Yeah.
You can't use it. Switch the gun over to the left and we're shooting 1,000 yards with the left hand. Left eye. And it's pretty wicked.
Shout out to Jay Belcher. If you know, you know. That's big bro.
Long distance king, man.
Yeah.
Like if you want to get into that, you're
wealth of knowledge.
You get a hold of Jay. Jay's going to let you know what it is.
And he knows so many people, you probably know him already.
You probably do by proxy. 6 degrees of separation, right?
Absolutely.
So, so we'll get back on topic. Lubricating rails, barrel, inside the trigger, anywhere where there's a rotating part, right? Even if it's plastic on metal, if there's a rotating part, a little oil doesn't hurt. Springs that are inside the trigger well and stuff, hit that with a little bit of oil. That's not going to hurt.
All right, let me ask you a question. So I know me. I clean most of the time every time I come from the range. How often do you do a deep clean? Right? Because that's a difference from cleaning to deep cleaning. I'm talking about when you pulling everything out, the extractors, everything comes out.
Probably the 3,500 to 5,000 round mark.
See me, I'm probably at 2,000.
Yeah.
When I get to 2,000, I'm taking everything out.
But remember, I'm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
I use a sonic cleaner.
This is ultrasonic. We're pointing down. There's an ultrasonic cleaner down here.
I use a sonic cleaner, but I only use that for my baffles and my suppressor.
Right. And you got to be careful with ultrasonic cleaners and the solutions because they will tear up paint jobs. Yeah. If you don't have the right combination and mix of the water and the solution, I actually use Simple Green for those that do have ultrasonic cleaners. Yeah. I don't use the stuff. It's expensive as shit. Just go get some Simple Green. It's biodegradable. It's non-toxic to the environment. It will eat paint if you let it sit too long, but it does a great job degreasing and cleaning in the 10-15 minutes that you have.
And if by any chance you accidentally eat the paint off your firearm, go on Instagram and contact Tactical Citizen TV. Guy's phenomenal. He will repaint it for you. You don't even have to worry about it. So just contact Tactical Citizen TV on Instagram. You'll thank me later.
We know that guy.
Yeah, we know him personally. He's a piece of shit, but we know him.
Hey, listen, as a piece of shit, he's the best turd you know.
Goddamn right.
Goddamn right. Okay, so areas of concern for failure. I think we kind of went through all the lubrication stuff, the cleaning. I think hopefully everybody got that about the cleaning. You know, take a wipe it out, put some little gun oil on it. You have some wipes and stuff. I might have some, check that drawer right there. I might have some wipes in there. Do I? No, I got the Q-tips in there.
Got the Q-tips.
Oh, there's some wipes, right?
Some wipes.
Okay.
Some wipes.
Yep. So these were the
Q-tips.
the patches. Alan, I get that in there so you can see it, right? The patches. Here's the big ass Q-tips that Chuck said, "Fuck you, don't get." These are giant.
No. You can't get. I do use those.
Oh, okay. Just not regular Q-tips because they'll snap on you. Trust me, I tried using that. But Hoppies or Allen, they have the patches that you can put on. I can't think of the name of the dang thing that goes the Jag.
Yeah.
On the end of the cleaning rod, which they're off camera. We can see them right here. I've got rifle cleaning rods and everything. I've got a whole setup.
Glad you said that. What solution are you using?
As far as cleaning
Yeah,
oil?
we didn't talk about that.
Oh, actually, you can see a can of Shooter's Lube. I use Hoppies, more solvent. I use the CLP, and I use. It's just different. I think some of it does better jobs on certain situations.
I got a question because this is important. Do you prefer a dual, like a do-it-all, like a CLP that cleans, lubricate, and preserve, or do you prefer something that cleans that normally strips
I did start out like that. I did start with the CLP, but I found that it didn't clean as well as the dedicated oils to me. I felt like I got a little more copper or a little more lead out or something if I used the dedicated cleaner versus the oil and lube. And I actually like that SLP 2000 or whatever it is. That's a pretty good lube, and Shooter's Lube.
And this goes back to why I clean every time I come back from the range, right? Neither one of our ways are the best way, right? But if you clean more often, it's less cleaning, right? So you can get away with a CLP because you don't have to do as much scrubbing because of the last clean. When you let it kind of sit for a little bit, you kind of get a little more deeper. You got to get a little more, something that's a little more aggressive with cleaning.
Right.
So that's all.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Okay, so areas of concern for failure, right? And let's talk about failure. We'll talk about failure real quick. You have two types of, well, really three types of failure. Mechanical, which is interior of the gun, a spring breaks, trigger bar comes loose, something happens. That's not a catastrophic failure, but it is somewhat catastrophic because the gun's not going to work.
Catastrophic if your ass need it right at that moment.
That is correct, because if the fucker's shooting at you, you need to be able to shoot
Damn
back,
right.
or at least throw the fucking gun if you got a high point.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, failures to feed, FTF, failures to eject, FTE.
Failure to extract.
Yeah, extract. I said eject, but it did try to eject. It just didn't. Well, no. Yeah, failure to extract, failure to eject.
Double feeds.
Double feeds. I had a brain fart there. I was trying to go too fast.
I got your back, baby.
And be a fucking mad scientist
We
like
have to
Bill
have,
Nye.
brother. We have
Hey,
to
there
have.
you go. So failure to eject, failure to extract, failure to feed, double feeds, stovepipes. Let's see what else. Mortaring of the round, where the case stays in the round, doesn't come out of there. That's failure to extract as well. But there's two different levels on that, and let's get into it. So failure to feed, right? That means you have the gun, the bullet is in the magazine, it wants to come up, and it'll hang up about halfway, and it won't feed the entire bullet in there. Okay, so it'll get stuck, and it'll stay half. It won't go all the way into battery. It's failure to feed the round. All right, the best way to do that, you got a failure to feed. You're always keeping that weapon pointed down range. You're going to take the magazine out first so you don't load another one, and then rack it to get it to clear out.
You know, they got this thing called, in the firearm industry, tap, rack. Mm-hmm. Right? I agree with you. I'm dropping that magazine fast because I don't got time to tap, rack. Can't remember that. Mm-hmm. Get the magazine out, rack the slide, get another magazine in, and get back into the fight.
Right.
And 90% of your issues, that will clear.
Right.
But carry on. I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah. And it doesn't hurt to look down into the chamber while you're doing that.
Yeah.
Okay, so just make sure you're clearing it out. Make sure everything's cleared out. Make sure, because sometimes when you get that failure to feed, that next round underneath in the magazine kind of lurches forward a little bit, and you need to reseat it.
Also, get familiar with firearms clear, obviously. Get familiar with sticking your hand in here to make sure it's not around in the chamber. And the reason why I said that is because you just stated that look down, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what if it's nighttime?
Yeah.
And you can't see, right? So you got to get familiar with sticking your hand in there and making sure that it's not around in there, right? Mm-hmm. So all of these things are important, right? Because honestly, most things happen at nighttime. So get aware. Carry on, bro.
Oh, real quick, we forgot to acknowledge that, man, we got this great background.
Fuck yeah, bro.
The Ignorant Nerds. This is cool. We had some messages about a little blank behind us. We need a little decor.
Yeah.
Right? So we popped it up for you guys. Something to look at, couple of weapons and stuff like that, and the banner and logo. This is fucking great. So.
And also, too, I got as your partner. I got an issue with this.
Okay, what's going on?
Do you know that's me right there, right?
Yeah.
So why the fuck am I sitting under this fucking guy?
Well, see, listen, my daughter said something about that. So, I know it might have been my wife. But they was like, you should be on the right since you're on the right and you should be on the left. And I said, you know what? It's already polar opposites as far as our favorite teams. It's polar opposites as far as Southerner versus Northerner. We might as well be polar opposites and sitting in the wrong fucking chairs.
Carry on.
You see what I'm saying? See how ignorant that shit sounds?
But listen, you can't argue with facts.
Hey, shit. God damn it. We're already 2 steps into the two-step.
Yeah.
We might as well take a 3rd step. Fuck it.
it.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, so failure to, what did I just say? Feed, right?
Feed, yep.
So you'll get that, and if it doesn't feed, drop the magazine or, watch some videos on it. Like Chuck says all the time, our way isn't the only way.
It's a way.
It's a way.
Yep.
And whatever way works for you to be the most efficient that you can and still get the job done. Okay?
Because you got a lot of experts on YouTube that'll tell you that this is the way, right? And a lot of them are right? But we tell you that it's not the only way, it's a way, right? So you can use this. We forgot to mention light primer strikes.
Light primer strikes.
Yeah, so
it's light primer strikes. Okay, so listen, we're not the best at remembering everything, but we are the best at jogging fucking memories. I'll tell you that much right now.
We know our shit, by the way. We know our shit.
Failure to feed, right? Drop magazine. Failure to eject.
Correct.
Right? So that means the round has been extracted, right? So let's use my hand. The extractor, right, that Chuck pointed to earlier on the slide, will come in as the slide comes forward, and it'll clip around the rim of the cartridge, right? And as you fire the next round, it will pull the case back as the slide comes back, and then want to eject out. What'll happen is it won't get all the way out before the slide comes back, right? So it won't eject around and get it all the way out of there, all right? 9 times out of 10, low power load, maybe a new compensated gun, bad ammo.
It's a myriad of things.
Right. So
and it's funny you said that because I was going to say a lot of times we worry about the reason, right? The failure to feed, the failure. But what caused it?
Yeah.
Right? It could be the recoil spring.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
It could be the magazine, right? So you got to kind of reverse engineer this at this point, and it's up to you to find out, all right, let's say this issue is continued. Like our magazine. Let's say you're having an issue with one magazine and you swap to the next magazine and you're no longer having that same issue. Now we know it's a magazine issue.
That is
right?
correct.
Because, magazines over time, especially if we leave them loaded, the spring get compressed. That's a weak point right there, right?
Yep.
So you just got to figure these things out.
Right. Okay. So failure to eject means the case of the case of the cartridge, because the cartridge is the entire thing.
Yeah, after the round is fired.
After the round is fired and the projectile leaves the barrel, the case is to get ejected. After it gets extracted first out of the chamber,
right,
and then it gets ejected out of the gun or out of the slide, let's call it, right? Okay, so failure to eject means it doesn't get kicked out, all right? And just real quick, we're looking for a 3 o'clock, a 2 to 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 2 to 4,
3 o'clock, 3 to 4.
Yeah,
3 to 4.
3 is norm, but 2 overgassed, right?
Yeah.
And then
pay attention
to
your brass as well.
Right.
It's harder inside indoor ranges because a lot of times
it hits the wall and bounces. You can't.
But
tell.
if you're in an outdoor range, pay attention to where your brass land, right? Because if you got a nice little pal at your 3, 4 o'clock, you might be good. But you might have a pal at the 3, 4, 12, right next to you. We call those scribblos. Bunny farts. We got an issue.
Let me add to that point there. I've learned being in bays to not have to try to look at it, so I know If the case hits the wall and somewhat hits me or lands right next to me, I know it's about at 3 o'clock. Yeah. If it lands over the table or out there, I know it went out at 2.
Absolutely.
And if it goes behind me and I don't feel anything, because normally when I'm shooting, I can feel them tapping my shoulder or my side or something like that.
I think that's a little more advanced than for the new user.
Okay,
right?
We skip past.
Yeah, I think that's a little more advanced for the new user.
Sorry, new users. I didn't mean to do that.
No, we trying to get you new users up to speed.
I have a bad habit of skipping ahead to advanced. I'm not. I don't rock with the novice motherfuckers too much, but I am here for you though.
The novice people, I got you.
Yeah,
I got you.
I got you. Advanced, I'm with you.
Yeah. Novice,
Right?
I got you.
That's why I call myself a somewhat professional.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He in the southern states where all this stuff is easy for him. I'm in the northern states like New York, where we got to come.
New Jersey, Connecticut,
we struggle for
Maryland. They got all them laws. Washington D.C.
Y'all got me.
Right.
The hood hero.
Right, because you guys are going to be in there and getting new guns soon. We're gonna talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well. That's important.
Okay, so we have double feed. You want to explain double feed?
Yes, double feed is when you try to when a round is supposed to go up into the chamber, you get 2 rounds go up into the chamber. So essentially, it causes a malfunction. You get to slide halfway into battery.
So 1 round goes, the other one tries to come up behind it, and they're just stuck in there. 1 round doesn't get all the way into the chamber, and they're fed into it. And it literally, this to me for a new user is probably the worst condition you can have. Because trying to get that magazine out,
it can become
because that bullet
is
out and it's lurched past its point of sitting in the magazine, and it's hard to get out of there.
You know, some things we actually got to show them, right? Because for instance, you're right, that magazine is hard to come out, but there's ways around it, right?
Yeah.
So we can show them at some point. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, and what we're saying is for the new users is what we're at, right? That round because here's what happens: you get a malfunction. Your brain starts going 100 miles an hour trying to figure out what's going on. 9 times out of 10, most people's finger on the trigger don't come out of the guard.
Absolutely.
Because they're trying to figure it out and they're trying to rack it. And if you got a double feed and you're trying to pull it out and you happen to snatch the magazine out and it loads that round and it jerks and you hit it, you're going to have a misfire. And it's going to be down the road. Right. Or errant fire, not a misfire, but an errant fire.
And this is where I may become a little bit ignorant right here. Mm-hmm. New users. If you buy a quality firearm, you are too early in the game to be worried about these issues. Most of the time, you're not even going to run into these. Maybe 1 or 2, for a break-in period. But if you got a quality gun.
New users. You just said that right there. Fuck that shit. We're on this. New users. Here's what the 95% issue you're going to have is failure to eject.
Limp wristing. I know you going. I know you going. Limp wristing.
Yeah. 95% of the time,
absolutely.
You're going to have a failure to eject. Yeah. The other problems are going to come when you get better down the road. Yeah. Right?
But by that time, you'll understand. But I knew where you was going with that. I knew where you was going.
So we did what? Failure to feed, failure to extract.
Double feed. We did
double feed, failure to eject.
Light primer strikes.
Light primer strikes. Okay. Light primer strikes. And I want to know what you, as a person in the industry, a person who runs a range, what do you say is the best etiquette? You get a light primer strike. And here's what a light primer strike is. Real quick, we talked about the cartridge, projectiles in the front, powders inside the case, the brass is the case, and there's a primer in the back of it. The primer ignites off of impact. Okay, there's a chemical in the primer. Once you impact it with the pin, the chemicals mix and it ignites the powder. Okay, so what you can have is what's called a light primer strike. That means your firing pin, whether it was striker or hammer, right, did not pierce it enough to ignite the chemical. Okay, so now you have a round that technically is a dud, but it's still live.
Yeah.
Because you could throw it on the ground and make that chemical, something could happen.
Absolutely.
Right? So what do you suggest if someone experiences a light primer strike at the range?
First of all, you got to know you got a light primer strike, right? So, all right, now you pull the trigger, nothing happened, right? Because it can also be a squib load. And that's dangerous.
Yes, that's dangerous.
So you can't automatically assume that it's a light primer strike, right?
Yeah.
So if that happened, you pull the trigger.
Explain squib load real quick to them so they understand, because that's
squib load is a dud. Like you literally pull the trigger, the primer or the hammer strikes the
hammer strikes the primer cap.
Brain fart. Strikes the primer. Nothing happens. You get a little noise. It's a low poof. It's not the normal pow that you're used to. It's a low thud.
That's the actual primer popping.
Right.
Right? Okay.
But nothing happened. So at this moment, this is where range safety and range rules apply. You leave the gun pointed down range. What is it? I don't know. 30 seconds, 6 seconds to see if correct.
Right on.
Right? Because sometimes the projectile will either get launched some semi into the barrel or it won't move. But sometimes if that happens and you pick the gun up, the projectile can shoot out 20 seconds later.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So what we want to do when that happens, but you got to be aware of it, is to leave the gun pointed down range and get a qualified person to look at it.
That is correct. And the reason being is the powder could be wet. The powder could not have been a good powder. Somebody could have put the wrong powder in the factory, which is highly.
It could be old ammo.
Yeah,
it could be some
ammo,
old
whatever.
surplus ammo that it normally happens with old surplus ammo.
And we'll get into that down the road.
Yeah.
The different types of powders and stuff, rifle powder and everything. The different shapes of powder. It's all it's a myriad of things that we're going to get into, and that's the great thing because we do it all from long range to pistol. So we
literally do it all.
We'll be able to cover
we go
everything.
From shooting 3 yards to 1 mile.
What else did we have? Squib loads. We had the light primer strikes, failure to feed, failure to eject, failure to extract.
That's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it.
I mean, in a nutshell. I mean, we could have went a little more in depth, but in a nutshell, that's pretty much it.
Oh, just so you know. That was my question. What do they do with the squib or light primer strike load?
So if I got a light primer strike, right? Because I got a little experience. All right, I'm advising a new person. You get a light primer strike. All right, you get the round out. This is what I would look. Take the bullet, look at the back, right? And you'll look at the primer and you'll see a little indentation. That's because the primer, the actual striker hit it and it left an indentation, right? Throw it away. Just throw it away. Throw it in a brass pile in front of you. Just throw it away.
But Chuck, won't that bullet accidentally go off and shoot somebody?
No.
So here's the thing. I've been asked that question before about a light primer strike or a squib load. The bullet only goes forward because it's in a barrel. And it's in a chamber and it's forced and it can only go forward. If something should happen and the bullet is not in a barrel, it's just going to explode. Okay? Now, does the projectile go somewhere? Yeah, but not like it does when it's in the barrel and it's hit with the firing pin and it shoots down the barrel and it's rifled up. It's really just going to explode. So they don't really shoot off into areas, but the case will explode, just like in a fire. Right?
Misinformation is a drug. It's a lot of bad information out there. Right?
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah. So it can't shoot in a direction on its own.
Right. So again, take the load out, throw it on the ground, keep it pushing.
All right. So next topic is holsters, accessories. What do I get for the gun? I've purchased it. I brought it home. I'm being safe. I've got a safe. Right. I understand how to disassemble it. And I know we didn't say it earlier, but read the manual. Right? It seems counterintuitive these days. I think fuckers swear that they can just go on YouTube and find all. Here's the thing. The manufacturer's going to give you absolute everything according to a lawyer that told them this got to be in here. A guy on YouTube, we can tell you whatever. We could just shoot the shit with you and lie straight to your face, and you can believe it or take it with a grain of salt. It is what it is. But read the manual. That'll help you in that. I understand that sometimes with this gun, it's a little harder to understand the manual as far as disassembly stuff. So watch a YouTube. And if you got the manual and the YouTube, you know if this guy on YouTube is actually telling you what's going on because it'll kind of go along the lines of the manual.
Could I have a quick moment? Look, a lot of this shit, just be honest with you, don't apply to everybody, right? A lot of times we get lost in translation with, you get a lot of, people get sensory overload from so many different sources, right? Listen, how you carry your gun, what you do with your firearm might not apply to the casual user, right?
That's right.
So you yourself, you have to do your due diligence and figure out what's best for you, right? Again, what I do for me, how I clean my gun, how I store my gun, how I carry my gun, might not work for a Navy SEAL, might not work for a LE, might not work for you, might not work for the person who only probably plan to use their gun once a year. Right. Everybody is different, right? So you have to find out what works best for you. What we're trying to do is just give you the information, the intel, some sources where you can go do your own research. But again, it's all on you.
Okay, so preparing for use.
Let's go.
All right, so we're going to talk about holster selection, accessories, carry styles, how not to print. That's on inside the waistband carry. Gun sizes for carry, that's subcompact, compact, and full size. And scenarios for workplace / home carry environment, car, home, public. So first things first is holster selection. So when you're purchasing a firearm, I would say this: if you're purchasing it directly for self-defense, it's good to make sure that the place who you're buying it, or find some place local that's close that has the holster in stock, or go ahead and Amazon that thing while you're in the store purchasing the gun. Try to get it as quick as possible, because you bought it to carry. You need to be able to carry it. Low and hold. I tried to say that wrong, but unbeknownst to most people, carrying it in your pocket is not going to fucking work. Especially carrying it with the stick. What is it? The dick with the stick? Yeah. The young guys, these young boys is killing me with this shit, with it hanging out of their pockets, and they got a holster with an extended mag sticking out of it walking down the street. It's just astronomically fucking stupid. Okay, so, and I know you got to deal with it because you see it every day at the store and shit like that. It's just crazy. But get a holster. Holsters are going to be designed. They do have some holsters that, what's that one? It's like 175 guns or something. Yeah. Universal. They do work, right? I'm more of a specific holsters for the specific gun type of person. I have bought the universal ones. They worked. I really didn't like them as well as dedicated holsters.
So are we discussing when you buy the firearm? Because there's some people who come in who already have a firearm looking for a holster, right? The reason why I say that is because a lot of times people come in and say, "Hey, I need a holster."
For what?
For what? 9mm.
These nuts. That's what I'd have told them.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. All of this is about information, right? You have to be aware when you come into the store and you act. This is me personally now, right? This is Chuck speaking. If you say, "Hey, bro, I need a holster," and I say, "What you need a holster for?" 9mm. 9mm what? 9mm. But I get this at least 10 times a day, right?
Those are
that goes correct. So again, it goes back to information, bro. There's no way you should be walking around with a firearm on your side and you don't know the make and model of the firearm you have. Educate yourself, bro. It's free.
Well, the problem is that people take other people's word for it. Even when you buy a new car, there's people that don't never read the manual. They buy a new car, the salesman will show them how to set the radio, get their phone Bluetooth hooked up, a couple other things, and then the rest of it they're gonna learn on the fly. They're not gonna go home and break out the manual and figure out how the lane assist works, how to turn it on and off.
I agree with you. You know, but a car is not gonna incapacitate a human as fast as a fire. You are actually walking around with something that can incapacitate a human just like this. It is your due diligence to understand what you carrying.
A car can do that. I'm gonna say it like this, because here's how I do it when people come to me about, oh, you can just kill somebody with a gun. Don't make no sense, right? Right. And I say, so let's look at it like a car, right? If I'm riding down a 2-lane road, one going this way, one coming this way, right? All it takes is some knucklehead fucker to drop a chicken nugget in the floorboard to reach down for it, and then you and your family gone. Absolutely. You understand? In an instant, right? So it's the same thing. What does it matter? Whether it's a gun or a vehicle, you can take out 4 people with a gun. You can take out 4 people with an SUV.
All right, we're going down the rabbit hole now.
We're going down the this is how we do it. We went down the rabbit hole in the first fucking episode. God damn it, we the rabbit hole. Remember?
Let's
we
go.
flush it with water.
Let's go.
Right? We flush them out with a hose. It is what it is. We'll dig it out. Fuck it. So let's get back on the holster. Yeah. Right? So I'm a big proponent of holsters that go for the specific guns. Correct. I'm a big proponent of inside the waistband, although you have plenty of states that let you open carry. I think open carry is for police. And the reason that the police open carry is so people see the badge, see the gun, see the baton, see the mace. Yeah. It's a deterrent, right? When it's a civilian, it's not a deterrent for a criminal. That's a free gun if I can walk up behind you. Right.
These are all subjective views from the Ignorant Nerd podcast. So let's just say that, because I like to give that out so nobody be like, oh, we shouldn't open carry now. They say you shouldn't open carry. You do what the fuck you want to do.
Don't open carry.
Don't open carry. The funny part about I'm with you. We gotta say it's subjective. I'm with you 100%.
We gotta say it's subjective. Don't open carry. Don't open carry.
Well, I open carry. But I open carry because of where I work at.
Where you work at, right.
When I'm not at work, you would never know I got a firearm on me.
And that's what I say, too. I open carry, too. So I have outside the waistband holsters. Correct. We shoot competition and stuff like that. So we have drop leg holsters. We have hip holsters, inside the waistband holsters, appendix carry holsters. And we're going to get in that here soon at the end, towards the end, about workplace scenario and environment. So holster selection, I would say a good company, Alien Gear.
Ooh, we name dropping?
Yeah, TXC.
Ooh, we named it. QVO tactical.
Yeah, QVO, quick violent over is what that is. QVO.
Tier 1 concealment.
Tier 1 has great holsters.
T-Rex arms.
T-Rex has great holsters.
Phil-Star holster. You know I'm a holster guy.
So, name them
yeah,
all.
You know I'm a holster guy. Hey, listen, I probably got a fucking box this big full of holsters.
I got a bag full of holsters.
And you know, people always like, yo, I'm trying to find the perfect holster. You will never find one. You will never find a perfect. Listen, carrying a gun is the most uncomfortable thing you can possibly do.
That's right.
It is what it is.
That's
you have
right.
to dress around your firearm.
Okay, so you guys get holsters, right? Depending on what it is, how big the gun is.
Don't get no fucking Uncle Mike's and none of them sticky holsters bullshit. Don't do that.
The Uncle Mike's pocket carrier.
Yeah, don't do that.
You don't want to do that?
Don't get no old school leather holster with none of that bullshit.
Can I get the Miami Vice Don Johnson shoulder holster with it hanging?
You know I get a lot of those. Hey, I got shoulder holsters. Okay.
Next question you should ask is: you wear dinner jackets?
Right.
No. I just wear sweatshirts. You don't wear a shoulder holster with a sweatshirt? Anyway, so accessories, right, for your gun. So new firearms owners. I'm going to tell you this from my perspective, right? Let's talk red dots. Don't get a red dot yet.
We're gonna spend some time right here, now.
Yeah.
You know, this is my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Accessories, right? I'm a new firearm owner because I don't want to get ahead because Chuck always reminds me don't get too far past the novice guys, right? Accessories.
This is important.
On the gun. You can run red dots, flashlights, lasers, all that good stuff there. If we're talking first firearm, got it home, don't buy any accessories for a minute. Learn the firearm. With the iron sights and all that stuff there. Now, it does have a caveat to, correct. Is it a carry gun, a nightstand gun, this and that? Because then that would dictate flashlights and lasers and red dots and stuff.
Correct.
Too.
That's where I'm going.
But I think learning to shoot the gun as is out the box is intangible.
Yeah. All right, new gun owners, first-time gun owners, you novices, stay away from red dots. Now, I hate to say that because red dot is everything, right? Stay away from red dot.
Not to mention that every gun we got up here has a fucking red dot on it.
Absolutely. If you got to leave it up to me, every gun will have a red dot.
I just looked in my safe and was like, I've got like 8 guns left I need to put red dots on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And like 2 of them need optic cuts even to put a red dot on.
But the importance of shooting is these red dots. I know you guys are.
Gun clear.
This is a red dot. This is an Aimpoint Acro P2. One of my favorites, right? But guess what it has? Batteries, right? And guess what can go wrong and fail?
Batteries.
Man-made devices, right?
That is
so,
correct.
God forbid if I need this gun at the time that I need it and this went down, can I still shoot? Because, obviously it has suppressor height sights, right? And that is for you to see through the windows so you can still get a visual line of how to shoot, right? God forbid this go down. Can you still shoot? And that is the importance of new shooters not starting with red dots because you need to learn how to shoot off the iron sights.
Static sights.
There you go.
Right? They don't move. They don't have a battery. They're in the same spot.
And they're true.
Now, to a certain extent. Yeah. So we have talked about it here lately, right? Where guns come from the factory and the sights aren't completely aligned.
Or the screws are still loose and it falls.
Or there's no Loctite on the compensator. Absolutely. Like what happened to me on this one when I first got it. Smith & Wesson didn't Loctite.
Listen, companies make mistakes, all right? It's a lot of product that's going out real fast, so shit happens, right? You still got to, again, it goes back to you doing your due diligence. You got to do your shit.
Checks and balances.
That's right.
So red dots, we're both in agreement. Immediate a no. Until you become proficient with your iron sights.
All right, this is what I got, right?
And then red dotted if you want to.
This is what I got. So red dots typically cost on the low end $200.
Yeah, that's
$250, right?
$200 all the way up to
$800, right?
Right, yeah.
Let's say the novice shooter, they don't want to spend $800 like we spend, right? They want to spend $200 for a red dot. I say take that same $200, go buy 200 rounds, $200 worth of rounds, learn your firearm. Learn how to shoot off iron sights.
That's correct.
Because that's going to give you the reps.
That's correct.
Right? With $200, you can get what? Maybe 500 rounds?
Yeah, close to it.
500 rounds?
Yeah.
You're getting reps. So not only you getting
reps.
reps.
You can get 1,000 rounds.
Correct. So not only you getting reps, you learning your firearm, you learn the recoil. It's a whole bunch of things you can learn, right? And then after you go through that a couple times, then you can graduate to the red dot. So take that money, go. Now, flashlight, to me, flashlight is important.
Okay, so Red dots. There are a myriad of manufacturers.
We're not going to name them.
We're not going to name them. I almost did, but he told me not to.
Yeah, we're not going to name them.
Okay. So you had put out Aim Point Acro earlier. So
I did. You absolutely right. And this is why
I wanted to give my Holliston some love.
No, go ahead. I apologize. You're absolutely right. Go ahead. Absolutely
so
right.
There are a myriad of manufacturers. I think top 4 is going to be your Aim Point, your Trigicon, your Vortex, and would you say EOTech? Holosun, EOTech, Holosun. Holosun's close to EO. I think Holosun's overtaken EOTech.
No,
as far as sales.
You want me to be honest with you?
I don't like EOTech, period.
This is where I work at, and we're going back to my warehouse. You want me to be honest with you?
Yeah, be honest.
If you said sales, right? That's the most important thing, right?
Right,
to you?
Yeah.
If we talk about sales, then Holosun number 1. And and it's not even close.
What about like return rate or issue?
That is hard because most stores don't allow you to return optics.
And here's the visual of that. If you sell more, you're going to get more returns. You see what I'm saying?
Correct.
So if you only sell 100 Trigicons, but you sell 10,000 Holosuns and get 300 back, it's going to look like there's more issues.
I don't get a lot of returns on none of them, honestly.
I know.
But
they're all good.
If we talking about sales,
yeah,
we just Holosun by far.
Killer.
And it's not even close.
It's the price point.
Now, me, myself, I'm a big proponent of the other company, Trigicon.
Yeah.
But I'm not even going to lie to you, Holosun is, and good for them.
Yeah, and
they're making other companies step their shit up. So
they make a good product too.
Yeah.
And they're actually making other companies come down and make a budget version.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because before Holosun, you couldn't find a Trigicon, an EOTech, an Aim Point, or nothing under $600.
Yeah, shit.
Now you can
Aim Point still Aim Point still.
Now you got Loophole. Even Loophole was up high, $500. Now you got them down at $399, $349, something like that.
All right, but we getting too deep for you.
This
is for the novice people.
Okay,
I know
flashlights.
Flashlights. Let's go.
Flashlights. Okay, we got
find a flashlight that work for you and
no, we only got 2 versions, right?
Yeah. I have a specific brand that I prefer.
Yeah.
Again, here's the thing, right?
Fucking drop it, because then Surefire might give us a damn
No. Listen, here's the problem I have, right? So you have a lot of these YouTubers, right? And they'll go in there and tell you this is the only flashlight you should buy. These other flashlights are trash and yada yada.
That's a paid advertising.
Correct. And that's the problem I have, right?
Fuck that.
Everybody don't have the budget to buy a Surefire, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get a flashlight, test it, right? T&E, test and evaluate. Everything you get, test and evaluate. This is how I learned. I'm telling you, a kid from New York City who moved to Georgia, this is how I learned. Me, myself, I'm a Surefire guy, but I started out as a Streamlight. Mm-hmm. Streamlight is just as good. Streamlight, Surefire, that's where I stopped. I don't. The other companies I don't even deal with, so I don't have the experience to speak about. But
okay.
Surefire is me.
So I have, because I've gone through, because there was a time, I got another YouTube channel, Tactical Citizen TV, and I do reviews on accessories, parts, guns, and stuff like that, and shoot them a bunch. So I've bought everything from them cheap ones off of Amazon, $40, to O-Lights, to Surefires, Streamlight, Holosun, Mod Light. I've done them all.
Yeah, Mod Light. By the way, thank you, Mod Light.
Yeah, I've done them all. Yeah. And so far, I haven't found one that's failed on me yet. Right. And I'm just saying for me.
For you.
For me.
Me.
Right.
I purchased the O-Light twice.
Right.
When they first came out. Mm-hmm. Both of them shit the bed on me.
I haven't had. Well, I've only bought 3 O-Lights.
Yeah.
And those 3 have worked. So and you might get a bad batch. I get it. We all get it. Okay. It is what it is. All right.
Shit happens.
So flashlights. The flashlight I think is more important than the red dot.
Correct.
Right.
But what is the flashlight for the new users?
Okay, so the flashlight is going to be for. I see everybody carrying the guns with the flashlights and stuff, everyday carry. I get it. It all depends on when you work. Chuck has a flashlight on his gun because his job details that he has to be at nighttime, late at night, leaving out.
And most bad things happen at nighttime.
At nighttime, right? So the flashlight is meant for low light. So repeat this: low light.
Low light,
so
no light.
If you're at home and you got a carry gun, if you get home at night, like if you get home from work and the sun's still shining, and then you're at home and you got your carry gun with a flashlight on it, it makes no sense. Now your home defense gun, nightstand, if that's your nightstand gun,
yeah,
cool, because that's robbery, things that happen at night.
3 a.m.
Right.
Lights is out.
Okay.
You need a flashlight.
I understand it, but if that's on your carry gun and you take it off every day when you get home and you got another nightstand gun, take the fucking flashlight off. You're not there. You're never going to be able to turn it on.
But here's the thing too. Here's a little cheat code, right? And I understand what you're saying, but you're leaving out a point though. In some instances, flashlights on the bottom of your firearm can help with recoil.
Oh yeah.
So it ain't just about the positive threat ID, because that's what the flashlight is for, right? You need to be able to PID. But for the shooters who know, it's also about helping manage your recoil with the weight. So the weight on the bottom of the gun, when the gun under reciprocation, keeps the firearm flat.
Muzzle flip.
Muzzle flip.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, and real quick so we can get it, the muzzle flip, what he was talking about is the gun that flips up. It's from a low to high scenario. You can show
this is muzzle flip right here. So
muzzle
slides back. It's going to take the gun this way and come back down.
Recoil is the action actually coming horizontally in the plane into your shoulder. So you have recoil, which comes front to back, and muzzle flips, which is from a down to up. Okay, so that's what you're trying to control with your grip. That we will talk about here soon. I don't think we talked about grip and stuff.
No, we did.
In
episode
stance,
none of
right.
that.
We'll get into that maybe episode 3. Okay. So also other accessories. The number one that Chuck loves to fucking hate: lasers. See how he went down? I fucking said it to you. It's like I've committed a crime. I got my hands up.
You know,
pull your cuffs out, Chuck.
I don't know if I hate them. I just hate what they represent. I don't hate.
No, listen. I think what you hate is the nomenclature of the young dudes about the beam and all that. I think that kind of corrupted your mind into hating lasers.
Absolutely. So one of the things we here to do is to educate our young people.
That's correct.
Right? So finish what you're saying. I don't hate lasers. I just hate what they represent in certain instances.
Because the young culture, and let's hip hop community. Right.
Yeah,
Black
and I grew up to say, look, when I was a kid, I used to say beam too, right? Yeah, the beam. We got the beam, we got the beam, we got the beam. But as you get older, as you grow up and you mature and you learn, you just got to, that didn't translate to a lot of people.
So here, let me give you my thing on the beam, right? As far as the culture.
Don't fucking call it a beam, it's a laser.
I don't want to call it the beam because I said
all right, well, let's fucking call it a link. Let's call it a beam.
I said for the culture.
All right, let's do it for the
culture.
So
for the culture, the beams, young guys, look right into the camera because I'm looking right into the camera at you, right? I sit in courtroom and watch court cases a lot. I go there random weeks when I not do anything at work. I go sit in a court case, right? And what I want you to understand, statistically, when it comes to gang shootouts and hood shootouts, statistically, more people who were supposed to get shot don't get shot. So you guys hollering out the fucking beam and all these lasers and shit like that and can't hit who the fuck you shooting at. Right? Innocent bystanders, babies, grandmas, everybody's houses getting shot up. You ain't hitting them up. Listen, let me tell you a quick story. I got shot in one of those situations coming out of a club. Took a bullet in the arm, right? There was 10 people in the altercation, 5 on each side. None of them got shot. 5 innocent bystanders got shot, 90 bullets in the building. That's it. I'm ending it like that, okay? So at the end of the day, damn the beam.
Do you know when you buy a beam?
But I like the beam on certain guns because I just like to play with them.
Do you post a 0 to beam?
Yeah.
They don't know that.
No, they don't
know
that.
I take that back. Some of y'all know that. You know
they don't have the tools to do the beam because
they don't know the
you know the beam has a specialty fucking tip that you got to buy that doesn't come in regular.
So now we go back to why I hate the beam. So if you're gonna carry a laser, this is the lasers I like. I like IR lasers.
Yeah. That's for thermal and night.
Yeah, well, that we going somewhere else. So let's carry on, guys.
Okay, so accessories. So what do we have?
Fuck your beam.
We got the flashlight, we got the beam, we got the red dot, magwells, extended.
Magwells, extended magazines.
Magwells and extended magazines, right? Flared magwell, right?
Yeah, but I think that's a little too much for the new user. I don't think the new user.
Okay, fuck it. We're gonna skip past.
Yeah, I don't, because I mean, for me, magwells are more geared towards.
We got some guys that aren't new users. They got
no, I know, but the episode is for we got to home.
Yeah, okay. Right? We're still in the new user phase. Right. Episode maybe 5 through 6 will be on the.
Because here's the one thing I don't want the new user to do that most shooters do. They try to buy skills.
Yeah, it's not going to help.
Right. You know, they start buying all it. So some people got money that they can burn, right? So they're like, oh, they watch a couple videos. I'm going to buy this, I'm going to buy that, I'm going to buy that. Anything that's going to make them a better shooter, a faster shooter. And that's the worst thing you could possibly do. Trust me, take it from somebody who's done it.
True that. Okay, so we'll skip past mag wells and +2, +3 mag extensions.
Well, mag extensions can be important, right, for the new user, because let's say you got a home defense gun. Let's say you got a Glock 19 gun at home. You got a flashlight on it. You got a 33 round magazine. I can deal with that, right? There's no reloading involved. You put the 33 round magazine in the gun. That's your nightstand gun. But for me, mag wells to me looks like somebody who's trying to speed reload and do all those things, and that might be a little too advanced.
That's more of a cool factor with the mag wells and stuff like that, and the extended mags and everything. So,
and we're not here to look cool. You better know the functionality of it.
Okay, carry styles. So we mentioned them a little earlier. You have open carry, you have hip carry, inside IWB is what it's called, so they understand.
Inside the waistband.
Yeah, inside the waistband, and then you have what's called appendix carry. That's where it's
AWIB.
Pointed at your gooch or your cooch. One of the two, dick or the stick. It is what it is, right? So appendix carry, hip inside the waistband.
So
hip open carry.
How they normally say it is
think
of a clock, right? So you got the 12 o'clock.
You got the 5 o'clock,
3 o'clock,
behind
5
the back,
o'clock, 6 o'clock.
and then you got shoulder holster.
Right. So just think of it as a clock. 12 o'clock will be directly in front of you. That's the appendix. You got 3 o'clock. That's your hip.
Yep.
You got 5 o'clock. That's right behind your hip.
Ass
and then
cheek
you
pocket,
got
rear pocket.
6 o'clock, which is right behind your spine.
Dead spine, yeah.
So just think of it like a clock.
Mm-hmm. Now, there are specific reasons that you would carry. Excuse me. There are specific reasons that you would carry the different styles. Okay. Most of the time, appendix carry, you're standing up a lot all day.
Yeah.
You don't have a lot of sitting down to do. It makes sense for you. But because when you sit down, you got to hike your pants, you got to move around, you got to manipulate some things a couple of times to get everything right in and out, even getting out of a seat and into a seat. Hip carry inside the waistband, you don't have to do that so much. You can get up, get down. That's no problem. That might be something as far as the handle sticking into your seat when you're driving or office chair.
But in that position, it's a little harder to conceal because now you got something poking out.
It's poking out,
Correct.
right.
So all of them have their pros and their cons.
Right. 5 o'clock, let's call it 5 and 6 o'clock carry. That's going to be more of your guys that have like dinner jackets or suit jackets on, you know what I'm saying, that are open and flowing where they can't be seen, where the shirts are tucked in, and you don't have the option of outside or inside the waistband into the appendix or the hip, right? So you wear a jacket, that 5 and 6 o'clock gets covered by the jacket, right? Anything else that I'm missing?
No, that's right. Everything else, this is all preference. Right?
And I do, if I'm going to be at the office a lot, I'll hip carry, sitting in the chair, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
or whatever like that. But if I'm going to be standing up, out and about, stuff like that, I'll appendix carry.
I never 5 and I never 6.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Under the shoulder, we talked about that, shoulder holsters and stuff like that. That is absolutely Miami Vice.
1989.
Yeah, that's absolutely Don
If
Johnson.
you want to go back to 89, have at it.
Yeah.
If you want to be in the Italian mafia, have at it.
Yeah.
It's not practical.
Yeah. And you'll tell that all your detectives and all your sergeants and lieutenants and stuff, they don't do that shoulder holster shit no more.
You know, everything, so you practice how you carry, right? The problem I have, right, these people, any position, women, you show up with a firearm in your pocketbook, and then you show up to the range with a holster on your hip. That's not how you carry.
Mm-hmm.
You train how you carry, right? So these guys come with these, they carrying around with these fancy things under their arm, and then when they show up to the range, it's not like that. So that's not conducive, right? So you carry how you train.
All right, how not to print. So printing, for the new folks, is where your gun can be seen, the outline of the gun can be seen through the clothing, right? Flowing clothes, overshirts, bigger shirts. If you plan on inside the waistband carrying, you're going to have to think about that as far as printing. There are some people who like form-fitting shirts. They like a medium shirt or a large that fits kind of tight, but that's going to print super bad.
For the urban community, which is the community I represent, if you like skinny jeans and tight clothes, it's hard.
Yep. Super hard. Super hard.
I'm not going to lie to you. Look, this is a full-size gun I carry. It's not easy. So one thing you got to learn is you got to dress around your gun.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, and that might mean, so you might still want to wear skinny jeans, but instead of getting a 36 waistband, you're going to have to get a 38.
Correct.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So that way you know you're going to be with the gun and all that stuff there. Now, if you have a lot of places where you can't tote the gun in, gun-free zones or whatever, that's going to get a little weird with your belt and you 2 sizes bigger. you just got to deal with it in that instance like that. Okay, so how not to print, flowing clothes, just making sure that you have some type of overcoat or a flannel button up or something like that to kind of help out. If you do like the tight shirts type situation, you're not going to be able to tuck your shirts in with any type of inside the waistband carry because it defeats the purpose. It's still open carry. Open carry just means that you can see the gun.
Yep.
Okay. And there's not too many places to open carry that I would advise. There are people that open carry. I'm not going to knock it, but fuck it, I'm going to knock it. You shouldn't open carry at all unless you're an officer, right? Because it's a deterrent for those officers. And what happens is most criminals believe that officers get this extensive amount of training, and that you know what I'm saying, it's a little different than a lady or some random old, heavyset guy that he think they can take him, right? But there are people who try to take police guns, so that is a factor as well. But you're actually forewarning the assailant of what you have, and the tactic becomes different.
Yeah,
so,
you the first line of defense for them. Like, so if
they're gonna attack you first.
That's right.
Yeah. So if you're in a group of 5, is what I get what you're getting at. If you're in a group of 5 and you're open carrying, they're gonna attack you first because you're the biggest threat in the moment.
Correct.
Right.
And I know he said don't open carry. We need people to open carry. So continue to open carry for those who like to open carry. Make life safer for me.
All right. Well,
I'm being honest with you.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, and like I said, in certain instances, I open carry. It just depends on.
Absolutely.
Most of the time, I'm only open carrying because we're coming from the range and shooting and shit like that, and having drop leg on my hip.
If you're gonna open carry, just be aware, right? Watch your 6. Just be aware of your surroundings because people will run up behind you in instances and snatch your firearm from you. It happened. You can search that. It's happened numerous times, so just be aware.
Gun sizes. Go ahead, Chuck. What kind of gun sizes do they have as far as the pistols?
You got subcompact, which is going to be a smaller version. You got the compact, which is in between, and you got full size.
The
most part,
the easiest way to tell the difference is 9 times out of 10, a subcompact, you're barely going to get these 2 fingers onto the handle, right? Small
depending
gun.
on hand size.
Yeah, depending on hand size, but roughly them 2 fingers, your pinky's hanging off of it.
Yeah.
Compact, your pinky is just going to be at the edge of the gun. Full size, there's going to be some handle up out under your hand.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So that's the easy way to tell it. If you grab a gun, and if you swallow it up, 9 times out of 10, that's a subcompact.
And there's a reason for each one of them, but just know each one of them has a pro and a con to them.
That is correct. Okay. And while we're at that, real quick, when we come to subcompact, just think about the S in subcompact, snappy. Those guns, I don't care what the caliber are, they're going to be snappy. It's smaller. It's physics. It's just going to. But
on the flip side,
it's going to have more kick.
But on the flip side, it's the most concealable.
Most concealable. So you have to trade off.
Correct.
Right. Size for snappiness, right? And a lot of females that we see buy the subcompacts and then say they don't like it because
women, for some reason, think the smaller guns are the easiest guns to handle. The smaller the gun, the harder it is going to be to shoot.
That is correct, right? So subcompact, think snappy. Compact, a little better.
Yeah.
Your Glock 19s.
That's where that's where the rubber meets the road, where you could conceal, where you getting on that borderline of you can conceal and you carrying enough rounds where you can do combat.
Mm-hmm. And then you got full size, which is
more controllable. You're gonna get more rounds, but less
longer barrel, right?
But more accuracy, but less concealable.
Right.
So everything is a pro and con to each one of them. A preference, it depends on what you're doing.
Right.
If I'm walking around in the streets and I'm in this, let's say it's summertime and we got tighter clothes, small t-shirts, I'm probably gonna go subcompact.
Yep. Okay.
Wintertime, heavy coats, whatever, I'm going full size.
Right. So because you can conceal it a lot better.
Correct. And I'm going to shoot it better and I feel more comfortable with it.
Okay. So real quick, and we'll get on to our dry fire and practice and stuff, is workplace carry environment, which we're talking car, home, public. So the question is, and I think this is more of a question and answer, when you ride in the car, are you still kitted up and rigged wherever you're at, appendix, or do you pull the weapon out and set it in the console, the seat? Do you have what do they call that, the little magnet thing that they've been trying to advertise on Instagram? I forget what it's called, but do you have one of those, or do you keep it in your carry rig, or do you set it into the console? What is your choice of car carry?
Me?
Yep.
My firearm is on me in the 12 o'clock position. I have my seatbelt orientated where if I need to get to it, I can get out my seatbelt and get to my firearm fast. I don't like the cup holder. I don't like the seat and those methods because let's just say if you got into a car accident, you're gonna go flying. When you need it the most, you won't be able to find it. Mm-hmm. So I like my gun attached to me at all times.
Okay, I'm a cup holder guy.
Okay.
And I only say this because the seatbelt strap goes across my appendix.
Yeah, but there's ways around that. You can take the seatbelt and you can stick it behind. I know. We'll get into that. We'll get into that
deep like that. But that's just something different. Yeah. Home? Are you a nightstand guy? Are you a under the pillow guy? Are you a by the dresser guy? What type of home?
Home. I'm a fuck around and find out kind of guy.
Damn it, man. He didn't answer that clearly at all.
I'm a fuck around and find out kind of
guy. Obviously, Chuck don't want you fuckers to know where the gun's at because you're not going to be able to see him or the gun. All right? So, all right, public, we've already talked about we appendix carry. So, I mean, that's just what it is. We can go by that. All right, so we can move on forward to draw and dry fire practice. Okay, ooh. Draw and dry fire practice. Basically, we want to talk about the various ways to practice draw once carry preference is selected. Appendix, or your 12, your 3, your 4, or 5. What mechanical movements are required for draw? Low ready, high ready practice for trips to the range. Okay, so various ways to practice draw once carry selected. The carry preference is selected. Always make sure the firearm is clear. There's no ammunition nowhere near you.
In the same room with you.
Right.
Shouldn't be in the same room with you when you dry firing.
Period. And here's another thing that I say too for you new gun owners who are practicing draw. Don't even put your finger in the trigger guard. Practice the draw. The dry fire, right, which is the trigger press and manipulation, can come later. Yeah. No. So you limit your ability to be able to make a mistake when you're first starting.
Yeah, but you also got to know what you're doing. You got to know your purpose of it, right? So, like, what he's saying is we breaking it down in sections, right? So, in the beginning, it's the draw, right? So, we just getting comfortable with getting our firearm, right? Getting the firearm out. But the new shooter might not know. The first thing a new shooter does when you give them a gun is what? Their finger goes straight to the trigger, right? So, you got to know these things, right? So, the draw, what he's saying is when you practicing something, you're not even worried about pulling the trigger. All you're worried about is retrieving the firearm from your garment.
Mechanical,
that's it.
Biomechanical movement.
That's it.
Right?
Defeating your garment, getting your firearm out. That's it.
So for me, like appendix carry, right? I'm an efficiency of movement person. Okay? So you see people that grab at the bottom. You see people that hook with the thumb under, right? I'm a kind of a grab and twist and pull, so it just shows the gun, right? Because for me, it's the efficiency of movement of that gun in my hand going straight out to the point of attack, and so be it. So I don't have to do all kind of crazy stuff to get out and then get back into my stance.
Yeah. Whichever way you do it, just practice.
Right. So, and what we're trying to do is get to presentation, right? And presentation is that point out, boom, right here, and then putting it back, right? The number one thing I can tell you is smooth is fast, right? And efficient is fast. So smooth and efficient, right? The smallest amount of movement to get you to the smoothest presentation will be fast in a combative situation, right? I think that you have to practice the shit out of your appendix draw. I think I think you got to practice a little more with the hip inside the waistband. Because there's a lot more movement of your hand over to the side, or you're picking it up with the one hand and having to grab, or you're grabbing, picking up, and grabbing on that one side. So it's...
I don't think we specify. What is dry fire?
Oh, okay. So dry fire, and a lot of the old guard is going to hate us when we say this because a lot of them say don't dry fire your guns. You know, you hear that from the older guys. The older generation says don't revolvers, they're not designed to be dry fired.
Yeah, that's older guns. I understand.
Right. Well, they're saying, even the older guys are saying the new guns don't dry fire them at all.
From the manufacturer, they'll tell you, like, I got my 2011, I'm not going to name the company, it's called a TRS Comp. So those who know. It says you can dry fire. And this is a 2011. Yeah. And it says it in my manual.
Yeah.
So, come on.
So, a lot of the old guard come from that because they think something wears the spring out or whatever like that.
And crystallizing the firing pin, hitting the... we get it.
Whatever. It is what it is. Okay. Dry fire is the act of pulling the trigger, listening for the click, right? racking the slide, and resetting the trigger.
But what are you trying to do? What is the purpose of you dry firing?
So I can get my presentation from draw to fire in the correct order.
Correct. And it also corrects what a lot of different deficiencies people might have as far as like jerking the trigger and
that is correct.
Recall. So
what Chuck is talking about, right, is dry fire. We rack it, of course. Let me show that this is clear because it's the same gun. We haven't.
Can I make sure?
Yeah.
Can I make sure?
Yeah.
All right, you good to go.
Okay. We're here, we're clear. So dry fire is racking that, my presentation, and that's it, click. Now what it's gonna have is a reset. You can barely hear that click, and then that's the snap of the trigger, and you can hear the reset, okay? So the dry fire, you're learning where your trigger press is, and that seal breaks, and where the reset is, okay? So as you get into it, just first dry fire snap, let your finger out of it, rack it, cool. But when you get into it, you'll pull the trigger, pin it to the back, hold on to it, rack it, and get to feel that reset.
And for a lot of you guys, this dry fire that he's talking about, that we speak about, might look boring to you, but I can assure you that if I fire 1,000 rounds a week, live rounds, I'll probably dry fire 5,000 times.
Yeah.
It's important.
It works.
Get rid of some of the deficiencies you may have. Trust me.
It works. It works. 100%. Yeah. It works.
Okay.
Okay, what mechanicals or movement required for draw? That's just shoulders, elbows. That's, it's you learning how to go from your static position to where the firearm is. Okay, so whatever that is, and that's different for the 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 or 5.
And body
6,
types,
right?
and how you carry.
That is correct too. Bigger people tend to not want to carry appendix because their stomachs cover the gun so well. They normally carry on the hip.
Yeah. And women mostly carry in a pocketbook.
Women mostly carry in the pocketbook, and I'm not a fan of that, and I'll tell you why. Because most women leave their pocketbook somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay? You got your gun on you? Yeah. Where's that? In your purse. Where's your purse? In the living room?
Yeah. In the car?
In the car?
Yeah.
At the office? Oh, I left it at the office.
Yeah.
Right? So we'll get into that into a later episode, ladies. There's plenty of stuff for you, belly bands, different things like Comforts Concealment's got a smaller band and stuff. We'll show you some things that'll actually work for you. Now they got some under the bra things and garter stuff and all kind of everything. So we'll get that. So we'll get into now low ready, high ready at the range in the bays, because most ranges aren't going to let you draw and fire at the range. There are a few outdoor ranges, of course, that'll let you do it because it's dirt. The reason being, so you guys that do understand, oh man, why can't I draw, man? I know what I'm doing. Well, A, the fucking floor is concrete. Okay? B, bullets ricochet off of concrete. Block walls, they'll punch into because that's cinder block, right? But concrete, ricochet. Okay? Ricochet, right? Anyway, let's move on to gun range etiquette.
Let's go.
All right, so we'll go through the do's and don'ts of safety at the range and in the bays. We kind of did that in the last little section a little bit. What are the dangers by scenario? Why it's important that all people know follow the same rules, right? So we have the same set of rules. The proper attire for the range. Safety gear selection. We kind of went through that. We'll probably skip through that real quick. We already did kind of mishaps, misfires. We did that, covered that stuff there. Clearing a jam, damn, we did that. Notifying the RSO of an issue, and the term range is cold.
All right, let's go back because you said that kind of fast. What is the RSO?
Range safety officer.
Okay, because that was one of the comments I had from one of my subscribers. They said, hey, you guys throwing out a lot of acronyms. It would help us if you explain some of them. Okay. So,
all right.
We got you, Paula Boone.
Yep. So we started that with FTE, FTF, failure to feed, failure to extract, FTE, failure to eject, same thing. So RSO is a range safety officer. That is the guy that sits at the back of the range to make sure nobody's pointing the gun back out of the bay, nobody's loading ammo outside of the bay. We'll start in with that range etiquette, do's and don'ts. When you come into the range, once you get into the bay, everything gets handled inside the bay.
Correct.
Right? So loading guns, loading magazines, I don't care if you don't have the gun in your hand. If you come out of that bay and you got a magazine and you loading it up, you're in violation of some rules, brother.
And a lot of people don't understand that, right? Ironically, maybe a month ago, I had an issue with a guy with that because he was loading the magazine at the back wall, and I was like, "Hey, bud, you have to load at the bay, right?" And he couldn't understand. He couldn't fathom why he doesn't have a firearm on him. The firearm is up, in the bay. Why he can't load back there? How do I know you don't have another firearm on you that you can actually throw?
How does everybody else
correct
know that you don't have another firearm?
So always everything.
Lead by example.
Correct, and it all get handled at the bay.
Yeah, lead by example.
Correct.
And what that means is, and what he's getting at is, just because you don't have a firearm in your hand and you're back out of the bay, some dumb knucklehead 4 bays over might see you loading back there and might bring his whole firearm out
correct.
and loading it in the bay. And then he's saying, "Oh, Ricky over there did it. Or
Correct.
so-and-so at Bay 3 did it. Why are you getting on me?" Well, so-and-so in Bay 3 didn't have a gun. That's not a good excuse. Okay,
Right.
so-and-so in Bay 3 wasn't supposed to do it at all,
Right.
period.
And that's why we build that consistency. Right. Everything on the bay, downrange.
Okay. So make sure when you are pulling your firearms, be they rifles or pistols, out of your bag, right? And I do this too. People look at me and think I'm weird, but in my range bag, I know how my guns are oriented
Yep.
in the bag.
I knew you was
So
going
I might set the bag down, and then I'll spin the bag out
Yeah.
around, and then I'll open up because I know which way the barrels are pointing. So when I pull the guns out, the barrels are pointing downrange at rubber tires, targets, whatever the chips are, whatever they got down there, hay bales, whatever it is, right? So they're always there. And if they are not, let's say sometimes I might have thrown 2 guns in the bag and one's facing one way and one's facing the other. I'm going to put it up in the bay sideways so they're pointed side to side, and I can never get them, and I'll get them out each and turn them so they're there.
There's a lot of different ways to skin that cat. Just be safe, right? Because I do the same thing, right? I know the orientation of my firearm, but again, sometimes I have 2 firearms in there, right? So sometimes you might want to be pointing back, but again, if that's the case, put a chamber flag in there.
And rifles is more, you'll more do that with rifles.
Correct.
Pistols are slim. Rifles some have bolts on them.
Right.
A lot of them have optics on it. As you can see, we got the AR-15 out here.
And that's what I was getting ready to do.
We did some fucking magic, so it just popped up and appeared for you guys. Most times, my rifles are facing 2 opposite ways.
Correct.
Because the stocks are bigger and fatter,
Yeah.
and what'll happen is your bag will get splayed out
Yeah.
on one side, so you just swap it to make it even,
Yeah.
right? I get that, okay? So sometimes what I'll do is I'll go take the rifle out that's face down range, put it out, take the bag, spin it around, and then pull the other one out.
Or get a chamber flag. If you have a chamber flag, 9 out of 10, that will solve your issue. Just get a chamber flag.
Correct.
Put a chamber flag in each one of them. I mean, because you come into the range to shoot for the first time, so there's no magazine in the firearm.
Grab that chamber flag over there. You see it right there on the gun
I see it,
table?
brother.
Right? And that way we can show them what a chamber flag looks like. Your favorite dog's laying right by your feet
Absolutely.
again.
I noticed that.
My pit bull Duke loves Chuck, so every time he comes over, he just lays right beside him. So this is a chamber flag. Normally they're orange. Some of them are yellow. They're always a cautionary color. There are some red ones I've seen.
And typically it goes inside the chamber right here, and it goes down the barrel, so we know that there's not a round in the chamber and there's nothing in the magazine.
So we can demonstrate that real quick. So I'll show you. We drop magazine. There's nothing in here that's an orange follower. A lot of times the magazines will have an orange follower in them, or red or yellow, to let you know that it's absolutely empty.
Absolutely.
Okay. And clear. Of course, this is clear. It's brand new, so it sounds crazy as crap. I'll push it back, hold bolt, and what we'll do is the chamber flag will slide right up into the chamber. Why it's called a chamber flag, right? And that way we'll drop the bolt right on top of the chamber flag, and that way you can see there cannot be a bullet
In the chamber.
In the chamber, right?
I wouldn't even put the magazine in there.
Well, I was just gonna put it.
Yeah, I was all right.
But
Right.
yeah, leave the magazine out. So when you bring it to the range,
Correct.
you should have the magazine out, chamber flag in, or if you do not have a chamber flag, the bolt should be left open, right? Just like this, so we can see in there that the bolt is not engaged. So now somebody can look in there and see if there is a bullet in the chamber. This is a little bit more difficult to get your finger in, like Chuck was doing with the pistol earlier. So you definitely need to look down in there and see. Never look in the muzzle end of any firearm, please.
And if
never.
you do, say cheese.
Right? So if If you get a chamber flag, it makes things easy. They make them for pistols as well.
And not only that, you make everybody comfortable because a lot of times some people don't have a range bag when they come into the range, right? To use the range. But when they enter the range, if we see a chamber flag in there or the bolt locked back to the rear, or some people who smart enough will just break the gun in half. But if you see a chamber flag in there, 9 out of 10, you know this person is aware. He understands what's going on. So it eases everybody's, because nobody wants to see nobody walking the range with a firearm or a rifle in their hand with no bag and with a magazine in it.
Chuck and I have a rule that if you accidentally shoot us,
I'm shooting your ass back.
We're gonna shoot your ass back accidentally.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I tell people this all the time when I'm training. I'm leaving with the same amount of holes I came with.
We're gonna shoot back accidentally.
Yeah. I'm leaving with the same amount of holes I came with.
Yeah, we're gonna have 2 accidents that day.
Yeah.
Right. So okay, so safety in the bays. Always be polite to the people that are in the bays beside you. If you see somebody, and this is important for me because I do it. I'm a regular patron at Chuck's store. Yeah. Right.
You damn near you one of us.
I'm one of them at this point right here. So
honestly,
and I like to take care of my environment. These guys are like family to me. I shop with them because I know it's feeding their families.
Yeah.
I rarely shop at big box stores to get stuff unless it's a special weapon or something like that. Other than that, I will literally call Chuck and say, Chuck, this is what I'm looking for, and they'll do whatever they need to do to find it for me.
Absolutely.
Get it to the store, and then I'm coming up and making the purchase. So it's very important to make a good rapport.
He's one of the only few customers that can come behind the counter and just hang out, and nobody will question him from me to the owner. Nobody's saying anything to him.
And I'll help customers, and
absolutely,
because that's what I'm in this for.
Yeah.
I want everybody to be safe. I want everybody to enjoy firearms. I want everybody to enjoy their Second Amendment right to ownership of firearms. I want everybody to enjoy the liberties of life and being able to enjoy yourself without having to worry about what's this, what's that, what's next. Okay, so I will tell people in the bay, like if you know somebody's breaking one of the safety rules at the range, just stop and say, hey man, this and that. Now you can go tell the range safety officer. There are ranges out there that don't have a range safety officer.
Absolutely.
Right? And it's just you kind of on your own. You sign that waiver. You got to understand when you're signing that waiver up front.
Let me cut you off real quick. Okay. I believe, and I tell people this all the time, everybody, the minute, I don't care if you got an RSO down there or not, you are your own. That's right.
You're the RSO.
If you see something weird going on inside a range, you have a right to say something, go upstairs to get the proper personnel, or exit the range. Right?
Yep.
You got to be your first line of defense.
Yep.
Everybody got to be RSO. Well, everybody, because there's a lot of bad shit that happened inside a range with new shooters.
I'll tell you, I've had an experience. I was actually at Bullseye shooting, and there was a couple who had just bought rifles. His and hers. I think it might have been a Valentine's Day or one of them's birthday or something. You shoot rifles, right? Well, they're like 2 bays down from me. We're the only ones in the range. And they're shooting, and they got AR-15s, I can tell from the report and sound. But the target is like 10 yards away, and the bullet holes are everywhere. Yeah. And so me being curious, because I'm an instructor, I'm thinking, hey, I'll give them a couple tips. This is ridiculous, right? I go over to them. Not a sight on the rifles, not an iron sight, not a red dot.
I'm glad you said that.
Nothing, right? And they're like, hey, can you help us out here? And I say, well, hey, how are you shooting that? Yeah. And they say, oh, kind of like this. And he put it up down the range and shooting it like a shotgun, like it's got a bead on the front. I say, hey, man, I don't know who sold you those, right? Because I don't know if they bought them at Bullseye or if they brought them in. I don't know. They said they had just purchased them, right?
And speaking of Bullseye, if you're in the Georgia area, please stop and shop at Bullseye Indoor Range in Lawrenceville, Georgia. That is Bullseye Indoor Range and Gun Shop in Lawrenceville, Georgia.
221 West Krogan Street, Lawrenceville, Georgia, 30046. Shout
out to the guys.
Right, yep. All the guys at the shop, man, from the top to the bottom, man. Great guys, very knowledgeable.
Family owned.
They'll help you out, okay? So, I told them, just to finish real quick, hey, man, you can't be shooting without any sights down here. Oh, man, no, it'll be okay, da-da-da-da-da. I don't want to argue. Yeah. I don't want to do nothing. I just, okay, cool. Walk right up to the front. Hey, guys, man, this guy's down here shooting without any sights. They come down there and say, hey, you can't shoot down here with any sights, without any sights. Either you got to come up here and buy some sights, or you got to leave the range.
Got to leave the range.
Right? And they just decided to leave the range, which boggles my fucking mind. that you know something's wrong with your weapon. Those are the type of people we're trying to help and trying to avoid all at the same time.
Trying to educate, correct.
And trying to
but
educate.
I'm going to be honest with you, 90%. So you absolutely right. So I have one, you cannot step foot in the range without a sight on your rifle.
Yeah.
Right? And that has to be addressed immediately when somebody has a rifle bag, a long gun bag, right? Because not only you can't shoot without sights, it could be a shotgun in there. And in the shotgun, you only allow slugs, no birdshot, no buckshot. So these questions need to be asked upstairs.
Yeah. So, and that's a good thing. Most gun ranges are not going to let you run buckshot, birdshot, any type of pellet. They'll let you run rifled slug, unrifled slug. Slugs, one
Correct.
projectile in the shell. No rapid fire for the most part. Let's see, what else is it? Kind of what with the shooting end of it.
You gotta have
certain calibers over a certain caliber.
Absolutely, and that's for safety cause because the backstop can only go up to a certain, depending on what range you at.
Right, how thick the backstop is.
Right.
Most of them are recycled tires or rubber bits and stuff like that to try to trap the lead and copper, jacketed lead. Let's see. Now, bay. That's kind of like the gist of bay safety. Right, but let's talk about entering.
Base safety, we still got to keep the fact that keep the gun pointed down range. That a lot of people don't do because a lot of times you have some firearm users. They come on dates, right?
Yeah.
Let's walk this through. You got a date and the guy showing off or the female showing off, and they taking videos and they turn around with the firearm. That happens 90% of the time. So you have a date and she like, hey babes, look, and she turn around with the firearm pointed and he's snapping pictures.
Yeah, that's no good.
No good. Don't do that. Keep the gun pointed down range at all times. And then when you have that, and then you have the range safety officer, and he will immediately address that if he see it, and then you get offended because I understand you taking pictures and you want a date, but everything is with respect to the law. We got to be safe.
Okay, so I just tapped up real quick and just make it simple for you guys. A lot of times, these rules are in every manual, I believe.
Yeah.
Every manufacturer's manual. I think they're required by law to put those safety rules in there.
Yeah.
Or something, whatever it is.
Required by the ATF.
Required by the ATF. Okay, so you got 5 basic rules of firearm safety. Number 1, treat every gun as if it were loaded, and you can tell by how we've been talking. Treat every gun as if it were loaded. Now. Take everything with a grain of salt that we did because actually, I picked up the firearm earlier and I didn't show to you guys that it was clear, even though him and I off camera before it started
That doesn't matter.
I know.
The fucking people in YouTube are right all the time.
Oh, fuck them.
So what you just did don't matter.
Right, yeah, okay. Whatever.
Carry on.
Yeah, all right, so treat every gun as if it were loaded, right? That's number 1 on the list, okay? So that kind of falls into the bay safety,
yep.
Right? As far as loading ammos outside of the bay. Always point your gun in a safe direction. When you hear us say point gun downrange, that doesn't mean any direction. That means downrange towards where the targets are in the backstop.
Towards the backstop.
Right, where the backstop is. And the backstop is always the pile of rubber or pile of whatever they got. Sometimes it's old cloth and jean material. I've seen all kind of fiberglass reinforced stuff hanging back their sheets and all kind of stuff. So
Where the hell you been shooting at?
No, that's where
Jesus Christ.
who somebody's been shooting at one of them.
I know tires mostly everywhere.
No, I just saw dang it. Somebody
Jeans?
they had the fiberglass sheet the
I know you said jeans though. Like you talking about like fucking Guess jeans and polo jeans?
Yeah, they just got all kind of
What
shit
the
piled up in the back.
Fuck you.
I seen one of them
You
old
gotta
country.
stay out them hoods, bro.
Yeah, old country. No, country right there.
I thought that was
country,
hood.
Country
Shit.
hood, yeah. All right, number 3, never point your gun at anything you don't intend to destroy.
That's right.
Okay, and the word destroy is used because it has more power than don't intend to shoot.
Right.
Because trust me, you're destroying something. when you
Paper.
shoot.
Paper.
Okay.
Punch your gun at the fucking paper.
All right. So that is 100%. Let's move on. All right. Number 4, keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot. That is the most important. That's what I tell people all the time when I'm talking to gun control advocates or these advocates that swear that nobody should have a gun or own a gun. The number 1 reason for guns to go off errantly is you got to manipulate the trigger.
But that is one of the hardest things for new gun owners to follow because every gun, I don't know, it's like your finger is automatically go to the trigger.
I think subconsciously, and I'm going to apologize to everybody who's ever trained with me. There's a couple hundred people over the last 15 years. I apologize because I know as we start training, I'm a little nicer, but about probably 20 minutes into it, I'm a little more sharp about to get your finger out the trigger well.
Yeah, I'm not.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I make that. I intentionally make that a higher pitch, stronger point.
Yeah.
Hey, get your finger out the trigger. and then I might talk regular tone to you. But I want that to not scare you.
No,
but alert you.
I'm glad you said that.
Right?
So I do the same thing, and I call it. So a lot of times I will over exaggerate, but it's for a reason, right? Not that I want you to see me like, because that's how important it is to me.
Right.
Keep your finger out the trigger guard.
Right.
And until these iron sights or your red dot is on a target, you shouldn't be touching that trigger.
Not at all. Right. And normally when I am training somebody, that's the last thing that they do.
Yeah.
Right. Grips ready, stance ready, everything's ready. We got all that stuff. Then I'm gonna tell them put that finger into the trigger well, and then we're gonna start manipulating the trigger.
I got a sidebar real quick. We've been talking all this shooting shit, and can you shoot?
Shit, no, I can't shoot.
No. This is an honest question. I don't really know you like that, so this is an honest question. Can you shoot?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's a question people ask, right?
Yeah.
I watch you split cards. I actually watch you split 2 cards with 1 bullet,
Mm-hmm.
and they will still ask what qualifies you to give this information. That's the only reason why I asked you that.
Okay. Well, what qualifies me to give this information is a lot of years of shooting, a lot of years of training, and a lot of years of instructing. And what qualifies me to shoot is I am passionate about guns, gun safety, and guns in the community safety, and it just falls into place. I can't, beyond that, I can't tell you what to look for in me that shows you that I know what I'm talking about. Besides actions speak louder than words. Go check Instagram, same do better version. You can see I've been on there shooting, running, and gunning everything from long range rifles to AR-15s to big 50 cal.
So you do it all.
I do it all. Pistols, subcompact, everything. I shoot everything. Automatics. You'll see the trigger manipulation. I do all kind of different things, and now I do trick shots and stuff. So. I would say the same thing that somebody says, hey, I was in the military, or I was a law enforcement officer. Well, I can say, well, what qualifies you that you're a marksman, right? Because there's a difference between a marksman and a shooter.
Man, can I tell you a quick story?
Yeah.
So one day somebody calls me and say, hey, Chuck, I want to take a class with you. Mm-hmm. Okay, no problem. Let's schedule this, that, and the third. Mm-hmm. Do you have, one of the questions I have, do you have any prior knowledge of firearms yet? I was in the military.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, excellent. We get to the class.
That's the worst.
No, I'm not joking with you.
No, I'm being dead serious.
We get to the class, and so, I ask certain questions about, like, how much training did you do in the military? That's the one thing I want to know. Just the aspect of how you grasp a fight. So, you pick up a firearm in front of me, let me know a lot. From pistol to rifle, I was so disappointed. So it's not the armed forces' fault. I'm tired of the notion that the military. They don't know shit. I mean, a lot of them don't know shit, bro. No. Like you said before in the last episode, a lot of logistic shit.
Yeah, so it's about what you did.
No, and I brought that back to say that they will question you, who has years of experience as far as shooting, and not question somebody who in the military who don't even know how to hold a firearm.
That's correct. And that's just a misconception of, I say this to people all the time, your career path or your job does not directly correlate to your skill set.
You're correct.
Okay? And I'm not putting anybody down, I swear, on everything I love. I'm not putting anybody down. I got plenty of family in the military that are Leos that have been there years, retired. Sheriffs, city police, county police, state police, Georgia Bureau of Investigations, FBI, a lot of different stuff. And all my family who's been in all those come shoot with me. And the first thing they say is, hot damn, boy, you can shoot.
Yeah.
And that's coming from 20-year military vets. That's coming from 30-year Leos and stuff like that. Because from dealing with them, not only family, but training new cadets coming doing certifications and stuff like that, people doing recertification, I find out that, let's say the military has you for 12 weeks, right, for basic. Law enforcement, I think it's like 12 weeks too, maybe 16. I don't know the exact number of weeks. But you're not learning how to shoot for 16 weeks. Absolutely. You're not learning how to shoot for 12 weeks. It's like 2 weeks, if that. Okay, out of them 12 weeks. And then you got to go get stationed wherever you're going. Then you're going, basically from what I've heard is, and from what even the officers that come into Bullseye, they only come when they can.
When it's time to certify.
When it's time to certify, and once who are into it will come.
Because most PDs don't pay for that.
They don't pay for that, right. So it's
and a lot of the PDs don't
let you use a duty weapon.
And not only that,
some of them they got to use their off-duty weapon.
Well, a lot of PDs in their head they don't make enough to resource the ammo,
right?
Ammo prices, right? So that's a different rabbit hole. But again, a lot of them only come once a year.
Yeah.
So I asked you that question,
and I wanted to clarify that from episode 1 because I did have. It was my cousin that was fucking with me. He was in law enforcement. He thought we was kind of disparaging them, bashing them.
And I did say no disrespect to law enforcement military.
Nigga, you can't shoot. And he was like, that's beside the point. So you know me, I'm finna jump on him.
And you know it's gonna be a motherfucker in the comment who couldn't even hold a candle to you shooting, right?
Right. So and that's here nor there. Hey, look, I'm not the greatest high jumper. All right, let's give it that. Okay, shit, I can shoot, I just can't jump high. All right, so real quick, so what are the dangers by scenario, right? And why it's important that people all follow the same rules. So the scenario that you mentioned earlier, somebody turning around whipping the gun back out of the bay.
Yeah,
right?
one of my coworkers got grazed and a ricochet hit him for that.
Yeah. Yeah, so and it does happen. I've been at a range where somebody nearly missed a ricochet from somebody trying to draw and shoot, and was going to put the gun back in there and had their finger too close, and the holster actually collapsed their finger onto the trigger.
You know, we do this every week, so let me get close to the mic if you don't mind.
Oh shit!
All right, and this is why. All right, this is keep it a buck with Chuck, and this is why we don't allow rapid fire, right? It's not that we don't want you to rapid fire, right? Because I want people to rapid fire because I rapid fire. The problem is that if we got Cowboy in bay number 10, he's rapid firing. Cowboy know what he's doing. But we got Tony Two Guns over here in bay number 6. Tony Two Guns, you like that?
Yeah, I like that.
He like, well, fuck, Cowboy's over here in bay number whatever rapid firing. Let me rapid fire too. He's shooting lights, cables. He don't know what he's doing. So this is the reason why we don't allow rapid fire. Not because we don't want you to. It's just that it's for one, it's safety, and two, for the sake of, let's say,
novices.
Correct.
For the sake of novices who don't know no better, and they just come in following leads.
And this
got
is
a lot
the
of
reason.
followers in the world today. So
absolutely,
that's what it is.
So Tony Two Pistols, you will not be allowed to just rapid fire and just dump a whole magazine into the bay.
Oh, let me do this because we kind of sidebarred, but that fifth and final firearm rule of safety is be sure of what's your target and what's beyond it. Okay, so not only the paper target, but what's behind it. There have been plenty of people that might go think they can shoot in the backyard because it's a fence. That bullet's going right through that fence. Yep. 9mm bullet, a crease of 2x4, pretty rugged. People think because there's drywall and stuff like that shit zips right through drywall. That's a big misconception.
Sidebar. This is one of the reasons why people love to say shotgun is the perfect home defense gun, especially people that live in apartment buildings. I want a shotgun. I want slugs. Right. This is the know your target and what's beyond it. Mm-hmm. I'll let you finish.
Yeah. And real quick, the sidebar on that with shotguns, with slugs. Number one, as close as you are inside of a house.
Jesus.
Let me get close to this. As close as you are inside of a house, buckshot is not going to spread wide enough to miss that fucker and go past him. You'd have to be about 30, 40 yards, which there's not a house that long unless you're in a fucking crazy 120-room mansion like Rick Ross or some shit. So that even at 40 yards, the spread is still maybe 8 inches, okay? So you can use buckshot indoors. I've heard people that say that you can't, but you can. It's better for a slug. I'm not saying not to use a slug.
So can I be the devil's advocate on that one? Mm-hmm. I agree with you to a certain extent. The problem I have is that people tell people with shotguns, hey, when you got a double lock buck, you don't have to aim. So let me get close now. Every bullet you fire has a lawyer attached to it. I want you to remember that, right?
Say it again for the people in the back.
Every bullet you fire has a lawyer attached to it. So now I don't want you to feel like I can just grab a double lock buck, let's say a number 9, fire, because you're not aiming, because you just feel like, oh, he's going to disappear. All right, let's say 5 hit him. Where did 4 go? Back to you.
We can wait on that answer forever.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so we got the 5 tenets. Real quick, I'll go over them. I know we kind of sidebarred in them.
Yeah.
Treat every gun as if it was loaded. Always point your gun in the safe direction. Never point your gun at anything you don't intend to destroy. Keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot. And always be sure of your target and what's beyond it. Okay? Especially in a self-defense situation. All right? Okay, so proper attire at the range bay. Ladies, no halter tops, spaghetti string tops. These cases will pop off the wall like we explained earlier and drop down into your dress. Now, the reason being is, hey, look, you might want a burnt titty or something. That's cool with me. No problem. You want burn marks on your titties, that's fine. Okay, but what I'm telling you is 9 times out of 10, when that burnt casing hit your titty, baby, you still got your finger on the trigger.
That's right.
Okay? And 9 times out of 10, when you get burnt, everything tenses up. It's a flinching reaction. You'll errantly fire that gun, okay? Flip-flops, open-toed shoes. If it lands on your foot, you're going to do the same thing. You can wear shorts, tennis shoes, sneakers, regular T-shirt. I've had them go down into my shirt with a regular T-shirt. You know what I'm saying? Or I've had them get caught in the hood. I've had them get caught in my actual safety glasses.
That's why I almost think this segment is like worthless, because everything you just said is the opposite of what we do. I had a fucking round go in between my glasses.
Yeah.
And I smashed it.
Yeah.
Right? I had a round go in my hoodie. It happens, right?
Well, so and sidebar on that real quick. I came into the he'll remember this shit because he was there. I came into the gun range with a new set of safety glasses.
Yep.
I pulled them out and put them on. Everybody broke out goddamn laughing. I'm going to be the bearer of bad news to myself because it wasn't fucking fun at the time. I was giving them all kind of fuck yous, okay? But here's what happened. The week before, I had the regular safety glasses. Same thing happened to me. The fucking case came in. I had my hat backwards, right? The case came in and got stuck right here, okay? And it fucking burnt me right there.
Got me.
I said, man, never again. Because those safety glasses are kind of tilted forward so it lets it in. I bought a set of Oakley white frame Sutros, right? And the whole glass covers and touches.
And we laughed.
My brow.
Yeah.
But guess what? They laugh like a motherfucker, but guess what? Ain't never happened since then. Fucking casing. It's hit the glass. It's hit the frame. It never has gone in. So take that with a grain of salt and 2 shakes of pepper.
Yep.
Okay. Proper attire. Okay. Safety gear selection. We was just talking about that. Safety glasses and stuff like that. The electronic ear pro versus, you know what I was looking for earlier? I thought about it. I had a brain fart. Passive is what they're called. Electronic,
absolutely.
active and passive, right? Okay, so an active set so you can actually turn them on and be able to communicate. This is super important when you're actually getting trained with firearms so you can hear the instructions of your instructors. When I hear somebody trying to instruct and they're saying, huh, what, this and that, and I have seen instructors who have electronic ear pro on and let their instructee or student have the regular passive ear pro.
That's the dumbest shit ever.
I have actually given somebody
that's what I do.
My electronic shit so you can, because I don't need to hear nobody fucking talking.
Correct. I need you to hear my command.
I need you to hear me talking.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
That's
so
right.
that's a real big sticking point for me, right? Because to me, I feel like, that guy might know what he's talking about and he might be an instructor, but he's actually not trying to get his point across.
Right.
If he's having to repeat
I do the same thing. So if at the moment, if I only got one pair, I will give it to my students so they can hear me. I don't need to hear them.
Yeah.
They need to hear me.
Yep. Okay. Let's see. Mishaps and misfires. We kind of went through that. Clearing a jam. We kind of went through that. Notifying the RSO of an issue. So, and we had defined the RSO as a range safety officer. So now what type of issues? The failure to feed, the failure to eject, the failure to extract, the light primer strikes, the double feeds.
Or Billy Badass in bay number 10.
Billy Badass
not being safe.
Not being safe. He's doing some crazy
Correct.
shit. He's rapid firing or he's pointing the pistol. Don't listen. Let me tell you something. Let me lean in. This is
You doing another lean in?
Yeah, I'm doing the lean in because you kind of don't like this guy, but I agree with Charleston White on the snitching end when it comes to this.
My God.
Okay, because you saving lives at this point. I know I just did that to make him do that. He's rubbing his fucking head. Look, so you might feel like, I don't want to tell. It's not my place. And I'm just saying it to this point.
I
right?
know.
I know. I just did that to ruffle your fucking feathers. So, but let me tell you something. There's a difference between a snitch and a teller, right? So a snitch ain't got no business telling. You see what I'm saying? A teller has some reason to tell because it could hurt them. So it's like
specifying the difference between snitch and telling, because this is a large. You know where I'm from, right?
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
You know where I'm from.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
So Brooklyn is about to flame your ass for you. What do you?
Why they gonna flame me?
Charleston White.
No, I'm just saying, listen, I'm just saying, everybody put a bad rap on a snitch. We talking about going to tell on a motherfucker.
You're right.
That's all I said.
No, you're
I
right.
said it. I prefaced it by saying you don't like the dude.
Brooklyn, back up. He's absolutely right.
But I'm saying he's right in certain situations and instances.
1,000%.
Right? You relabeling somebody a snitch back in the day when here in the South, everybody from Brownsville, right? Here in the South, a snitch is only somebody who got no business telling.
Correct.
Right? But if we finna get away with it, and I don't got no business telling, I'm not gonna tell.
So if you're involved in...
Listen, let me clarify that. I think I said that wrong. I'm not gonna tell regardless. That's
wait.
Because I got a lot of people out here too. Not only Brownsville, I got Lawrenceville looking, and them fellas know I ain't never told. Okay? So, but...
Carry on.
There's this mystique about it, right? Where, I don't want to be the one to tell, or when it comes to firearms.
But this is why it's important for you also. So if you feel that way, be your own RSO, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm in the Bay, let's say I'm on a date, right? It's me and my lady.
I've left the range. I've left the range before.
Or you have the right to say something.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, listen, turn around with your firearm. If you turn around again, we're going to have an issue. Or you can get up and leave.
But here's what I'm saying. Most people, especially new shooters, I'm going to pull you back in on this one. Most new shooters are going to perceive that as conflict, and dude got a firearm.
Yeah, but I got a
firearm.
No, I agree. 1,000%. Well, then
you and I feel different because I know this fucker can't up the iron fast as me. I know he can't shoot like me. I know he's not going to be accurate. I can put 16 on his ass before he think about one.
Yeah, if you're a new shooter, you have a right to go get a... Well, first of all, it should be an RSO there. And if you don't... So, all right, let's just say, me, example, you come in my range, hey, I'm a new shooter, I got a little bit of experience, you go down the range. This is what I'm telling you, hey, have fun, be safe. If you have a problem with your firearm or any patrons, come upstairs and get me. That's if an RSO not downstairs. So you automatically know, just come upstairs.
Yeah.
Come get somebody.
Yeah.
Right? You don't even have to say anything. We can
tell them I'm going to the bathroom and then just go up there.
You can circumvent, but you still, look, you want to be able to leave safely. You want to enjoy the experience and leave safely. So if you feel like you're not being safe, you have a right to say something. And if you don't feel like you can protect your life, then you shouldn't be in here.
Yeah, you shouldn't be in there.
Correct.
Yeah.
I tell people this all the time. If you your own RSO. You have to be safe for yourself first. Even if it's an RSO behind me. He might not see what I see. He might be looking that way and bay number 10 doing some dumb shit.
Yeah.
Bro, turn around with that gun. What? Bro, turn around with that gun or we going to have an issue or blah, blah, blah. Or, hey, range safety officer, bay number 10, he's doing some weird shit.
Right. Yeah, I get it. Well, it's kind of like, I mean, you know this being from up north, right? It's an unspoken word to not say anything.
Correct.
Right? In the hood, in my hood down here, hey, you don't talk to the police.
Correct.
Even if you know what went on, because you don't want to be involved with it.
Correct.
You don't want to be up till 3 a.m. talking to detectives and this and that. Everybody looking at them parked in front of your house, all that kind of stuff like that. And it really might be some nefarious bullshit.
But yeah, but what is your life worth, bro? Look, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I'm an elder gentleman, right? I might be on a date. I don't got time. I ain't in the fucking hood no more.
Yeah.
Right? This is the prop. So what we trying to do right now is educate the hood.
Yeah.
So you don't have to do hood shit, right? I'm not in the hood no more. So if I see some dumb shit going on around me, so I won't have to act hood and react hood, let me do something about it. Hey, Teak, this gentleman in lane number 10 is doing some dumb shit. You need to address that.
Let me ask you a question. Are you and I'm asking for the audience who are gun owners as well, but specifically you, are you more apt now that you know what you're doing and are as proficient as you are in firearms? Do you let more shit go these days?
Shit.
Because I tell people all the time, I let more shit go.
You don't even understand.
Yeah.
Well, you understand.
Yeah, I do. Because man, listen, I don't let them call me pussy, bitch.
No,
all that.
You know what? Let me address this real quick. I'm glad
you want to get in the mic on
No,
this?
no, I'm glad you. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm glad you just said that. You heard what you just said? I let them call me pussy and all that because your demeanor changed, right?
Yeah, my demeanor
So
changed.
once upon a time in Brownsville, Brooklyn, where I was born and raised, right? I was the aggressor, right?
Yeah.
We was kids, right?
Yeah.
We didn't know no better, right?
Nope.
Now that we know better, right? We grown, right? I know better now, right? So I notice I went around a lot of the nonsense. So where I'm at now, my skill set right now. Enjoy your day.
Yeah.
Because you don't stand a chance. If you're not practicing or training the way I'm training, and this is what we talked about, right?
Yeah, we talked
It's
about
almost like military.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time.
If you don't train the way I train, enjoy your day. I
not
have
fair.
to give you that pass.
Yeah, it's not fair.
I have to give you that.
It's
It's,
not fair.
almost like if you practice karate, right?
Yeah.
With a skill set, karate.
Yellow belt versus brown belt.
That's right.
It's-
Hey, listen, you know boxing, right? Everybody know me
Yeah,
in Brownsville.
135 versus 185.
Listen, everybody in Brownsville, Brooklyn know me as for boxing, right? You know I whipped ass all through that neighborhood. Y'all know that, right? So boxing wise, right? You know you got a skill set that some people don't have, right?
Yeah.
Do you take advantage, you know?
No.
Right. So I know. So in my head now, I'd rather educate. So I'm way more responsible now with it than I ever was without it. And this is the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah. I mean, I think so too. I was
And that's
the
the
same way.
truth.
It's funny that it's Brownsville and Lawrenceville, right?
Yeah.
That's the crazy
Yeah.
shit. Because just like you just said, everybody in Lawrenceville know me for whooping ass.
Yeah.
Right? Hand-to-hand combat, whatever. I've been stabbed, cut, shot. I've been all that shit. Jump, gang shit, all kind of dumb shit, right? But the one thing they know is, boy, I wasn't about that shit.
Yeah.
Nowadays, they would look at me and be like, boy, you is acting pussy.
Yeah, thank
compared to the person
But
that
you
was
should thank
before.
God I'm acting like that.
Yeah, because
Right.
I tell them, I say, listen, before it was a little fisticuffs, it was a little scuffle, it was we called it squabbles.
Yeah.
Down here we call it mad squabbles. You got squabbles, boy, you
Yeah.
can fight, right? Yeah. So it was more of a respect thing back then. Right, you fighting over respect. There really wasn't no guns pulled, wasn't no bullshit like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a couple of times.
Yeah.
Back then, you know, I got some homies that passed away. R.I.P. my people. Right, but at the end of the day, I tell people all the time. They say, "Oh man, you ain't as aggressive as you used to be, or you ain't no
You should
nonsense."
thank God.
And I say, "Listen, I'm looking at it like this. The only thing on the other side of me is death and destruction."
Yeah.
It ain't no more fisticuffs. It ain't no more, hey, I can pop you in your eye and knock your ass
But
out.
that's the problem that the casual fan that you talking to don't even understand that.
Yeah, shit.
You know, because now it look like it's just you blowing smoke up their ass. Like,
No, man.
hey, bro, look, I can split 2 cars with 1 bullet.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We can upload tomorrow. You've done this, right?
Yeah.
The average person don't understand this.
Yeah.
Now, if you say, Chuck, hey, you know what? I was at Bullseye the other day. I had a target at 10 yards. I split 2 cars with 1 bullet. I'm like, holy shit. But the motherfucker in the street, like, man, get the fuck
Get the fuck out of here. You ain't doing no tricks.
I don't want to hear that bullshit.
Show it to me. Right?
We don't want to hear that bullshit.
Yeah,
we out here getting
bullshit.
money, and that's rightfully so. We out here, but it's a difference, bro.
Yeah.
It's a difference.
Well, and it's kind of like, let's say, you know, when we went out to the long range, right? I had the little pistol, the
Yeah.
Rock Island 5.0. Everybody shooting 100 yards. Everybody done hit the steel at 100 yards. I said, fuck it, let me go do it.
One shot deal.
One shot,
One
pow,
shot.
100 yards, right?
shot.
Chuck say,
Drop
put
the fucking
drop
gun.
the fucking gun,
Drop the
put it
fucking-
up. Don't
drop
worry
the
about it. Don't
gun.
take another damn shot. You don't never try to risk that good shit, that good luck that shit
Listen.
that happened to you. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, sometimes you just got to go out on top, baby. You got to go. You got to be the GOAT.
But
And that day you was GOAT.
yeah. So, but that kind of reinforces to me the fact that, man, I don't want no fucking problem.
No.
I even tell people in the videos that I do on my other page with Tactical Citizen TV, hey man, all the stuff that I'm training for, all the stuff that we're doing, the long range you see me and Chuck doing, the shooting at a mile, shooting at 1,000, shooting up close, cutting cards, all that stuff right there is letting me know.
Hold on 1 second. And by the way, I shot a mile. I hit 5 out of 7. Don't fuck with me.
I was there. I counted them.
Video.
Yeah.
Don't
I
fuck
counted.
with me.
Yeah, I counted
I'm
them.
different.
Yeah, we reach. What they call us, My Bell.
Yeah.
Remember My Bell?
Yeah, yeah,
AT&T,
absolutely.
old My Bell,
Absolutely.
Southern Bell. Hey, we reach out and touch.
I'm different.
folks. Yeah. So, like, man, it's just, you know, to get back to changing,
Yeah.
right? Evolving.
Yeah.
Guns will make you evolve because you know at the other end of this is death. Talking to detectives, possible charges, all kind of stuff, and for me. Like I said, I get back to it, pussy, bitch, hoe ass nigga.
It is
Call
what
me
it is.
all the shit you want to. You not until you bust this little physical bubble that's around me. Ain't nothing finna happen, Jackson.
Yeah, you know what you learning later on in life? Like, that's like kid name, like calling, like, oh, your mom was stink. Like,
Yeah.
You see one of the comments, one of my friends, like, But we know. The people who know, right?
Yeah.
I can guarantee. This is what I know about you. For the average user, I wouldn't want to pull a gun on you.
Shit, no. I wouldn't want to pull a gun.
Right? Respectfully.
I wouldn't want to pull a gun on your ass. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Because you see it, but we see it.
But
though.
this is respectfully, right? Because I'm not going around start with nobody.
No,
look, if you sit down and say, hey, Chuck, if you saw me in the mall, like, hey, I'm one of the motherfuckers that I'm from the hood. You be like, hey, Chuck, hey, I saw you on the Ignorant Nerd podcast. Can you help me? I'm giving you the game.
Yeah.
I'm giving you the game. We trying to help you.
Yeah, damn right.
We trying to help. We ain't trying to tell. I'm not trying to put nobody down. I'm telling you where I came from versus what I learned now from people like him and other people. This is what I got. He's from the South. I'm from the North. Look, this is what we can do if we use our mind.
Well, and a lot of times, and we'll wrap this up. I think
absolutely.
We're pretty much done.
This is our time now.
A lot of times, here's the thing about me, right? My father was 5th degree black belt in American karate. We grew up in martial arts. I grew up in martial arts. Okazaki Jiu-Jitsu, Shotokan Ninjutsu, Kempo karate, Taekwondo. I took all those different.
Hold on one second.
Right?
In our terms, that means he'll fuck you up.
Yeah. So and that's what I was getting to. I always tell people, listen, what I can do with weapons, edged weapons, sais, swords, bow staffs, things like that I learned and was doing forms and katas and stuff through martial arts from a young age up through my 17, 18, 19 years old before I went to college, right? So I tell them, you 9 times out of 10, you're going to get cut fucking with me before you get shot.
Ooh, YouTube is, somebody going to ask you to prove this.
Well,
you can't prove it, really.
That's what I'm saying.
Really,
the only way to prove it
right.
is Channel 5 News. Channel 5 News to say the motherfucker cut his ass 17 times.
God.
But like, and because it used to get to the point back in the day, it's what it would mean. Oh, you in martial arts, you think you bad, don't you? Bro, I'm not even trying to start no shit with you. But now that you done started some shit, now I'm with the shit. So and that's where if I was to bring somebody on that knew me from back when I was 15, 16, 17 years old, all the way up.
If you know him from 15, 16, 17, get in the comment section right now and say, hey, look, we all know, because I know, bro. This is my guy. Get in the comment section and say, hey, this is what he was capable of doing, right? Because I know my people already in my comment section, like, yo, Prime, I got phone calls. So get in the comment section and talk about my boy right here.
Yeah, man, do that for me, please. No, you ain't even got to do that for me. But if you want to, you go on and do it.
Yo, look,
right?
These RICO charges going around, bro.
No, listen, I'm going to tell y'all, Brownsville, Lawrenceville, all that, my people, his people, we are never going to tell on nothing that still got a statute of limitations on it.
That's a fact. We just having fun. We having fun.
Yeah, we just talking shit.
We
got some libations. I don't know if y'all been watching us tip the cups, Jack and Coke. We've been having libations. There's no ammunition whatsoever around us. You know what I'm saying? All these guns are clean and checked and stuff like that, right? And we're just shooting the shit at this point.
Yeah.
But to end, I mean, I've become docile is the word, right, for me. Like, I am a dormant volcano, right?
Why?
You can come play and take photos and all that stuff like that, but boy, once the shit gets started, I'm the C-Red type dude. You know what I'm saying? And that's what my shit was. I'll be frank, I had issues. My mother passed away on me when I was 14 years old, and I had issues behind that. You know what I'm saying?
God bless her, by the way.
I was an angry kid.
Yeah.
And I was in martial arts. I was in fighting. I wrestled. I did all those pugilistic sports because I was looking to get some retribution.
What got you here?
Grandpa, Dad, we always had guns in the family and stuff like that. Hunting, fishing, doing all the outdoor stuff, camping. Grandpa used to take us down to Florida with the camper. We used to pop out
but not
with a little 22.
All right, so let me correct that. Not what got you here, because guns is everywhere, right?
Right.
What got you to the mindset where I can give this away, right? Because everybody, look, I'm gonna be honest with you, YouTube. Everybody's selling something, and believe it or not, we selling something, but we try to be real. What got you to the point where you're like, I want to give this to somebody?
I think it's my form of restitution to all the bad shit I did.
Because you also have Tactical Citizen TV.
That's
right?
correct.
So, by the way, subscribe to Tactical Citizen TV. That's his other podcast channel, right? You also have Tactical Citizen TV. So you've been doing this.
Yeah.
So what made you get to the point where you say, you know what, I want to help somebody? And we could explain how, you know what, this is what we need to do. Look at this, how we got together.
Okay. And that's part of my explanation is coming to places like Dead Center, Bullseye, Trading Post, Norcross Gun and Pawn, Trading Post in Monroe.
And
South
we don't
River.
mind shouting people out because it ain't taking nothing away from us. Like,
No.
if we build somebody up, it's not taking it. This is the problem people have right now. It's like, oh, everything is monetized. We get it. It's a business, but we don't mind building somebody up because it ain't taking them. We don't lose.
Not at all. So going there, seeing the different people in the bays, the guy with the AR, the other people with guns, people seeing me shoot, and then saying, "Hey, can you help? Hey, can you help? Hey, what are you doing? How are you hitting the target like that? Hey, we're shooting at 5 yards, you're shooting at 10, and your pattern's way better than ours. What can you help?" Right? And then it got to the point where I was already instructing, right? But it was when it got to the random people helping, and I was like, okay, well, people aren't going to call me for instruction.
All right. When you say pattern,
right?
they don't know.
Oh, grouping or patterning, right? Is the let's say you shoot a round of 17. What is the spread, or how big is the pattern, right? So if you shot 12, 16 inches, or was it 8 inches, 4 inches, or a ragged hole? You'll hear Chuck and I when we do a lot of the review videos.
One whole goal.
Yeah, one whole goal. It's a ragged hole. That means we shot 10 shots, and it's just one big hole, okay? And I think from people asking, my outlet was, one, retribution for all the bullshit that I did as a kid, trying to help and not be a hindrance to society.
Yeah,
right?
This is people getting to know us.
Yeah, I spent a lot of years,
No. They don't know. Tell them.
Oh,
we got to be real with the people now.
All right, I spent a lot of years as a criminal.
Yeah, they got to know, bro.
I spent a lot of years as a criminal. I was not the law-abiding citizen that I am all my life. I was fortunate enough to get out without any felonies, misdemeanors and stuff. Got expunged through great lawyers and everything like that. Ducked and dodged some charges and everything to be able to get to where I'm at now. I'm blessed and highly favored, and I say that to all my friends that have penitentiary, that took them penitentiary chances and got caught.
Yes, sir.
And they look at me like, man, you one of the only dudes that made it out, because I was a nefarious nigga. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Just do me one favor. All right, so everybody that from Brownsville, Brooklyn, that know me, that watch me and ask me questions, the same thing I told y'all, y'all know about me, is the same thing he just said. We lucky. Because if you want to be honest, we lucky.
Yeah.
Because when you took that ride, it could have been blue lights behind you.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. Yeah. So we trying to give back off our luck. We trying to give back because we got partners. My brother Beef he just did 25.
My brother just got out off of 18.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? My cousin just went back in on a 20 something.
And they ask me all the time, "Hey Chuck, you being from New York, how the fuck you doing this?" Right? We lucky. We blessed.
Yep. So I'd rather pass that blessing off on to somebody else and hope that somebody learns and stays out of trouble. And we can sit here and talk for hours about the choices I made and decisions that I wish I could take back. And I hope that even the people that are out there watching, if I ever did anything and harmed you in any way, whatever it is, if ands or buts. I put a simple apology out there for it, and I hope I could pay you back and restitute in some way, shape, or form. And if I can't, it is what it is. I'm not going to duck and dodge from it. But if I can, I think by me helping the community and helping other people, old ladies, young kids, this and that, I coach football in the community for 14, 15 years now.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? My son has been on a team in 5, 6 years. So it's very important for me to educate. I run a youth mentoring group for young boys called Gentle Rocks. It's for young urban black kids who are single parents, whether it's single mom, single dad, whatever it is.
He tweaking now, y'all. He tweaking. I promise you, he tweaking.
No, I'm not tweaking. I actually do this.
No, you really do. You really do.
Yeah. So
no, you said you apologized for anybody I hurt earlier.
I mean, I listen. Man, some of them folks didn't deserve that shit. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm telling you, like 70% of the time when I was young, I took it too far.
We grew up. I promise you guys, we grew up. Like, we everybody got a pass. We grew up.
And so my dad will tell you. I mean, hell, my dad was watching YouTube. He'd get in the comments and be like,
I'm just not trying to say nothing. I'm not trying to say nothing. Look, Everybody who watching right now, I know for a fact you gonna call me tomorrow. Like young Chris, you called me the next day and like, do they know who you are? Look, you know me. I'm gonna always be safe because but we trying, guys. We trying to help people.
Yeah, we definitely trying.
Look, it's a lot of people who look like us that don't get the help they need, right? So it's a lot of people. He's from Texas, right? I'm from New York City, right? So originally from Texas, they gun friendly, right? So from where I'm from, we're not gun friendly, right? So we give our votes to these Democrats and we give our votes to these people. And I moved down here and I start advocating for gun. And you guys look at me like, hey, well, it wasn't like that. Mm-hmm. But we got to start thinking, guys. We really got to start thinking.
If we're going to get quick political, man, listen.
I didn't want to.
I know, but listen. Let me get quick political.
I'm not going to stop.
Texas is a Republican state. Okay, and I want everybody to understand this up north, and it's really up a lot above the Mason-Dixon line. They vote Democrat because that's just what they feel. They've been hoodwinked into.
So we vote Democrat because that's what our parents told us.
Well, so let me tell you something like this: there's not a civil rights bill or law that was ever passed that was signed off or created by a Democrat.
You know what?
They were all
listen. I got the right to speak for up north, right? I promise you, I want to speak about this, right? And y'all know me. I didn't come down south to change. I came down south because I wanted a better life. But it's some things that I've learned about myself and about my people since I've been down here, and that's one thing we got to address. Like these people can't just get our vote no more; they got to earn our vote. But we'll talk about that another time.
Yeah,
you're absolutely right.
Yeah. So, and if we talked about it, and I'm gonna finish it up with hell. If my dad was on YouTube, he would comment on there and say, "Hey, I bailed the little fucker out so many times on." Simple assault, this and that. A fray. That's what they call it down here. A fray. When you fighting, and they don't know who started it, they call it a fray. Boy, I got 12, 15 of those, and it actually got to the point where my dad was like, "Look, man, I can't come get you no more. I'm helping you out by bailing you out."
Why do you want to give back now? With all the things that you've been through, with the challenges that was against you, why do you want to give back now? Because what I look at is, what you're doing is educating people. So why do you want to give back now?
It's either one day or day one. You know what I'm saying? And I just decided to go ahead and make it one day, day one. You know what I'm saying? And turn that day one into a bunch of days. And just from what I see on social media, just for what I see in the political arena and how people are voting and how people are just blindly, voting.
Our peoples. Could we be real, bro? Yeah. We be real. Our peoples, African Americans.
So
African Americans, listen, I'm being honest with you, bro. Like we got to do better. We have to do better.
And I think across the color spectrum, because I have this debate with every ethnicity known to man, right? And especially when it comes voting time, and I ask them why they voted for them, and they say, "Hey, they're a Democrat." And I say, "Well, you voted Democrat all the way down the board." Yeah, I'm not going to vote for Republican. Yeah. I said, "What happened to voting for the best dude? What happened to voting for the best person for the position?"
I'm a product of that. So, all right, you sitting next to somebody who's done that. So I go in the booth, Democrat.
Yeah.
Nobody Republican get my vote because for a reason, right?
I did it when I first started voting. I did that. That's what I did. Party lines.
We gonna touch that.
Yeah,
we'll get in an episode. We have to touch that.
We'll get in an episode and touch that because here let's not get it confused that this show is for everybody.
Yeah,
but it's pinpointed and needled in towards our community, the black community.
Well, look, if you don't want to rock with us, you don't got to rock with us. We don't give a fuck. We trying to help people.
Right.
Like I'm not here to cater to nobody. He's not here to cater to nobody. We just here to help people. I don't care if you black, white, Chinese, Asian, Spanish. Who cares? We just trying to help people, right? There's no ethnicity involved. We trying to help people.
Yeah, I mean, shit, if you got a problem, even if it ain't about guns, comment below. Shit, if you a pimp and you done lost all your hoes, or if you a hoe and ain't got no pimp, whatever it is.
Now you don't want me to comment. It was 1996. My bitches ran out of y'all. Look, y'all know who know me. Y'all told me get in the comment. Look, everybody in the comment like, yo, Chuck, be yourself. So y'all know.
Yeah. I mean, and that's what it is. And I think we kind of went off on a little bit of a tangent, but I think it helps us become more personable with you guys, the audience, and know that nobody's a saint. Not all sinners can't be reformed.
But that's the problem, though. A lot of these people come on YouTube and they like, hey, you have to be this way, right? Let me show you how to shoot gun. you got to carry yourself this way. This is the only way. The end.
Well,
Bullshit.
And we'll touch on it real quick because we'll get into it later. There are some content creators, gun tubers, they call them, or whatever like that, that to me, they do a little too much, right? And I understand being hood and all that stuff like that, but, you know, some of this stuff is getting to the point where it's ridiculous, and it's shaping young minds in the wrong
You
direction.
fucking can't be a grown-ass man and call yourself hood, bro. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a byproduct of that. I always say, hey, this is where I'm from, this is where I'm from, but you got to grow up. We got children. We trying to educate people, bro. That's what it's about. We trying to educate people. Like, right, we can be the same way we was then, but what are we going to get?
Nothing.
Right?
But jail time or death.
Look, I am... Can I have 5 seconds?
Oh, go ahead.
I'm lucky. Y'all know where I made it from, right? The people who watch it, who know me, like, how the fuck is he here? Like, I get phone calls, text messages, like, how you here? Right? I'm lucky, right? So... it's my gift right now to give back to my people, right? This is how it's supposed to be done. This is how we do it, right? I'm not keeping all this information to myself. I'm not sharing it with nobody else. I'm sharing it with my community. Brownsville, Brooklyn, New York City, up north. I don't care where you at. This is how it's done, right? So now next time you go vote for whatever Democrat running for office, I don't care. You can vote for whoever you want. Hold his feet to the fire. You got to earn my vote.
That's it.
Earn my vote, right? We just can't give our vote because we was raised, I'm a black kid, and I was like, hey, Democrat is the way to go. Earn my vote. I know I'm going off on a tangent because I'll be getting pissed off sometimes.
Can I give a shout out?
No. Well, shout out? We doing shout outs?
Yeah. I want to shout out to Brownsville because as much as y'all don't think I know y'all because I fuck with MOP. I fuck with RZA and Jizza. I fuck with Thurston Howell III. I fuck with them Brownsville rappers, you know what I'm saying? Because I've been listening to Brownsville rappers a long time.
PSA, this is my dog right here. No. Hold on. Can we answer some questions?
Yeah, go ahead. Q&A?
Q&A.
Okay.
All right. So, why does everybody think you're a white boy?
Because of the skin tone.
Yeah. But we're going to leave it that, right?
Yeah.
I shouldn't have answered that.
Probably this guy looks white.
And I shouldn't have answered that, right?
Yeah.
But Tico got a lot in him, right? Tico's a brother, right? So I don't want y'all to, the reason why I said that, because I don't want you getting the word, saying certain things, and people like, yo, you letting this white boy.
No, listen.
No.
First off, as mad as you may get about me saying the word nigga, I'd be just as mad as you calling me a white boy.
Facts.
Okay, so my family is from Indiana on my dad's side and from East St. Louis on my mama's side. So it's a bunch of hood and country motherfuckers mixed up.
So in other words, you motherfuckers get your shit together.
Right. So at the end of the day, I used to have this problem in school. And I'll tell you like this. My family, my great-grandfather was part of the Underground Railroad. Harriet Tubman came through. W.E.B. Du Bois came through. We still got land. We're on the historic Underground Railroad, right? Escaped slaves came to a community that my grandfather created in 1781. Way before all the Abraham Lincoln and all that shit. Union Literary Institute. We've done more for the black community, for African Americans, than the average high yellow, red bone, light skinned nigga has ever done.
You bitches better get in tune.
So when it come to pro black, don't look at the skin.
Right.
I'm the most.
That's that Willie Lynch shit.
I'm the most pro black. Let me tell you something. Listen.
No.
People ain't been looked right here.
No. Look, bro. Look.
I know.
This Willie Lynch right here. They separate the dark from the light, bro.
Yep.
We
ain't playing them games. Look down there and tell them guys what this is.
Yeah, we ain't playing them games.
Tell them what you see right here.
That's my motherfucking brother.
See this? This is 7,000 years of African history.
Yeah,
that's
it's
a
my
timeline.
brother. That's my motherfucking brother.
There ain't nobody more pro black.
I'm gonna be real with you, bro. People like, yo, you know, it worked well. You know, you a New York Giant, he a Cowboy, you black, he white. I'm like, white?
No.
I'm like, motherfucker black.
I'm gonna give y'all a pass. I'm gonna give y'all a pass on that shit.
Look, this is we having real segment.
Yeah.
I'm being real. They like, yeah, he white. I'm like, white? Motherfucker black.
We need to turn these lights down.
That motherfucker hood as shit.
Hold on, goddamn it.
Tico hood than the rest of y'all.
Maybe it might be these lights where I look.
No, you just light skinned, bro.
Are you sure? Because I'll turn these lights on.
Man, that motherfucker.
I got a little color about me.
You still look white.
I do still look white.
Man, that motherfucker hood to the motherfucker.
Yeah, bro. I'm hood as hell.
And we don't say hood for color, like that's my brother. So,
yeah. So and the thing is this, you know, being light skinned, you know, light skinned niggas fight more than dark skinned niggas.
I'm not gonna lie. You do look like a little Drake. You sensitive
Drakey,
like Drake.
A little Drake.
Sensitive like Drake.
A little Drakey. Yeah. Right. I mean, and that
Drake. No disrespect, Drake. I fuck with your music, bro.
You know that kind of. That probably fueled some of the fires with fights and stuff.
Yeah,
back in the day.
It did.
You know
I can tell you're emotional light skinned nigga.
Yeah, no, not emotional. I just goddamn. I don't never have any emotions. I'm just logical.
It's us, right? We the hottest shit. Listen, guys. Y'all want real shit or y'all want fake shit? Y'all look. Most YouTubers tell you what you need to know. Like, yo, this is the way to shoot. This is the only way to shoot. You got to hold a gun. We don't do that bullshit. We real.
Let's be real.
How he shoot is different from how I shoot.
Yeah.
We not gonna lie to you, but we both get the same results. Impact where we want the bullet to go. The man is a great shooter. I'm a great shooter. He's a good teacher. I'm a good teacher. We together collectively we say, hey, let's put something out.
Yep. And let's make it big, right? Let's make it for our people. Let's make it for our people. Not only our people, but all people. And we don't, even our followers of Caucasian or Asian or Hispanic.
We fuck with y'all.
We not discounting you. We fuck with y'all. So being light skinned, man, I got all kind of shit. Hispanic, Asian, Irish, Italian. It's all kind of people in my family, man. They done married outside and this and that and da-da-da-da. So when I speak from a point of a myriad of ethnicities. Because I be going to family reunions and I get a little bit of the Chinese culture from my cousin who got a Chinese husband or this and that. You know what I'm saying? So
no, that's a fact.
Especially in New York.
That's important.
Right. Like New York, I know y'all got some ethnicities mixed up over there.
I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a hood hero, bro. People look at me like, how the fuck you did this?
They look at me like the same way. Down here?
Bro, we got lucky.
Yeah.
We got lucky, right?
I'm going to say like this.
I'm going to leave it at that because y'all not going to question my shit.
I'll look in the camera and confidently say probably 20 to 30% of my friends have never been in any type of criminal situation. That's about 20 to 30. The other 70 to 80%, boy, we've been in that dirt.
Yeah,
okay?
And I'm going to say, so while he's saying that, I'm going to say 99.9% of my we going to leave it at that. Right? Because, people start looking shit up and doing dumb shit. Like, look, we just trying to help people, bro. Okay. Look, I didn't come from much. I don't know. You want to speak on your background? I know. I'm speaking on mine. I don't come from much. I'm trying to help people. I met good people who showed me a different way. We just trying to help people, bro.
We came from much, but my dad and grandfather was an asshole. My
dad was trying to help.
Yeah, my dad was a Navy. My grandfather was a Navy guy, and he got into the oil business and asphalt emulsions and shit like that, and made some good money, and he's got some good stuff. But we were always money conscious.
Yeah.
We didn't live above our means. We didn't live in our means. We actually lived below it. My dad was a ramen noodle type motherfucker. He'd get you yellow cake mix and ramen noodles and them Stouffer's Salisbury steak TV dinners. Boy, that's what I grew up on. In a 4 or 5 bedroom house with 3 baths and pools and stuff like that. But we still eating like we in the hood because he grew up in, he met my mom when they were coming out of high school. They lived in East St. Louis. That's one of the roughest areas of St. Louis you can come up in. So, and I'll tell y'all, for everybody who don't know about East St. Louis, if you watch Vacation with Chevy Chase, when they pull into St. Louis and the nigga hubcaps get took, right? When he at the stoplight, that's East St. Louis.
Every hood the same.
That's where my grandma on my mom's side was from. So it's real. Right. It's real.
We got off on a tangent, so I want you to give some shout outs because I got to give some shout outs.
Okay, yeah. I want to shout out to everybody who's listening from Brownsville to Lawrenceville, from Virginia Beach all the way to Venice Beach, man. Everybody worldwide who's tuning in with us, we appreciate you. We salute you. We hope everything in your life is going good. If there's anything that we can do to help with information or something like that, you let us know. Hit us in the comments. We are always here. We are an ear. We actually know more than what's about guns and stuff like that. Right. This is just something that brought us together. I think the fellowship within the gun community needs to be appreciated a little more.
Yeah.
I think even if you don't or can't own a gun, you can still support. And hopefully you get your liberties. I know Chuck always talks about Brownsville in New York, and you guys are kind of suffocated with your liberties up there as far as the city laws and state laws and things like that. And I hate that for you guys. I wish you guys could come down and visit. Anybody who can come down and visit with us, come shoot with us.
A fact.
I think, shout out to all my people that's subscribed and everything like that, all my friends and family. I can't say much more than that, but besides, man, I love y'all. Shit. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the one thing as a black man that we don't say to each other. enough.
That's a fact,
right? Because
I love you.
people act like we gotta say pause after that, like it's some gay shit or something.
Oh,
man.
whoa. I'm from Brooklyn. You better say fucking pause. Whoa. Time out. If you say some shit, you better say pause around me.
Yeah.
But I'm going to let you get yours off.
Yeah.
Pause.
Yeah. And shout out to everybody from Brownsville and stuff like that do the pause thing. I'm still learning.
Yeah, he's learning.
Still trying to get me on the pause. Hey, man,
you're not just going to say anything to me.
You're supposed to say pause after that.
Yeah, you're not going to say anything to me. All right. So you straight, bro?
Yeah, I'm straight.
Right, so
shout out to my co-host. That's it right there, man.
That's a fact.
This is going nowhere but up. And you know, it's a pleasure to work with this dude at all times. It's a pleasure to know him and get feedback and learn from him. Man, I'm just proud to be a part of this, and I'm proud to actually be here for you guys.
All right. My go?
Yeah.
Me go?
Yeah.
Migos. Shout out Takeoff. Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace.
I got some shout outs, right? So let me start first with him. I know a lot of times we grow up, where I grew up at is like no new friends. If you know OLZ, you know it's no new friends, right? Well, I'm glad I expanded that no new friends to a new friend, right? Because he the truth, right? I shoot, he shoot, right? But it's a difference, right? We go past that. Shout out to my bro. I love him.
Appreciate that, bro.
We did this because we wanted to help people. I don't got no specific shout out. This is my people's, right? This is what I'm here for. I'm a hood hero. I come from a bad neighborhood. I've done a lot of bad things that I was capable of escaping. So this hood hero shit. Shout out to everybody who did something bad that was able to get through it and gave back.
Damn right.
Right? Like, it's not like we got through it and we just lived our life and we F everybody. I got people like Buzzy. Shout out to Buzzy for Marcus Garvey. Right? I know you didn't expect this. Shout out to niggas like Buzzy. I'm sorry, the N-word. Shout out to people like Buzzy who shout me out every chance he get.
That's a soldier right there.
Facts.
That's a soldier.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, Buzzy is from the opposite end of the spectrum. Mm-hmm. He from where he had opposition to me.
Yeah.
Shout out to Buzzy. Right? Mm-hmm. Shout out to everybody from where I'm from and beyond trying to do something different, bro. It ain't gotta be Brownsville, it ain't gotta be Brooklyn. Where he from? You from Texas.
Yep.
If we from the inner city community trying to do something different, bro, shout out to you. I don't have a specific shout out. I know I was going to say some names. Shout out to my daughter Chelsea because I told her I was going to give her a shout out.
Shout out Chelsea.
Yeah,
shout out.
Charlie ain't getting no shout out, but shout out Chelsea.
Shout out Charlie. I'll do it for her.
Yeah, get Charlie out of here. Chelsea, shout out to you. But people who look like us, who trying to do something different. I had a goal in mind. I said, hey, T, this is what I want to do, A, B, C, D. I gave it to him, and I'm going to be honest with you. He took it, ran with it. Bro, check this.
How long did it take? About a day or two?
I don't even think it was a day, bro. No, if we being real, I don't even think it was a day. No, and that's not, no, we being real, no tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
This is realness. Like, bro, because, you know, people always tell me, hey, how you surviving in Georgia? Mm-hmm. Right? You know, we come from the no new friend era.
Yeah.
Like, Tico, ABC, I got this on my mind. Chuck, check your email. So shout out to him because bro is really, we always say stand up. All right, in the black community, we use stand on business, right? Mm-hmm. This nigga standing on business. What business he standing on? 10 years, 15 years, 20 years? He's standing on business, bro. Because we trying to do something different, bro. We trying to better ourselves. We trying to educate and give people something back. So shout out to you, bro. This is what I wanted to do.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Shout out to you.
Thank you. Because
we standing on business, bro. And we the ignorant nerds. Sometimes he ignorant. Sometimes I'm the nerd. Back and forth.
Yep.
Who gives a fuck? We don't give a fuck, bro.
We don't give two shits.
Those who know him, and those who know me. Shout out to us, bro.
We're trying to bring that together because that bridge, because it used to be South versus North.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And it's not that way because I know so many people from New York that got family members in South Carolina, Tennessee, North Carolina, or their grandparents from South Carolina.
Where we come from.
Yeah.
Our family's South and North.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so just to understand that, because that just means we lost somewhere in
they
that
divided.
generation.
We ain't lost. They divided us.
Yeah.
But shout out to you, bro.
Yeah.
That's my shout out.
Appreciate
shout out
it.
to you.
Thank you, sir.
Because you're a stand-up dude, and you keep it 100, bro. So, we the ignorant nerds. I'm half. He the other half. We don't give a fuck. It ain't no flow to this shit. We do what the fuck we want to do, right? Look, if you look around, this man, all him.
Yeah. Well, no, it's all us because that's how I roll these days. I appreciate you. I appreciate the kudos and the comments and stuff, man. I couldn't do this.
You need to hear that. You need to hear that, bro.
You need to hear it too because the thing is this. I think, for some, you're underappreciated, right? For what you've come from, for what you're doing now, for coming and moving your entire family or what you could of it. I know your daughters are still in the NY and stuff like that, but they're coming down here. They're getting to experience the South, to experience. There's a lot of misconceptions about the South.
Big facts.
About we slow and
we racist.
It's racist down here, and the Klan,
KKK.
The Klan is everywhere. Let me tell you something. I grew up in Texas till I was like 9 or 10. Came here to Georgia. I've been in both states my entire life.
Yeah.
And I have probably ran into one dude that said he was with the Klan, and when he did that, he got fucking mollywopped when he announced that shit.
Yeah, I ran into some racism here.
By a bunch of Hispanics. You see what I'm saying? So like down here, it's different in the South.
It's love.
It's
love.
Southern hospitality is a real thing.
They got that.
Whoever's in New York and have never been to the South, please come. I will host you at my house. I will put you up in a hotel just so you can
go
experience
shoot with
it.
us.
Yeah, you can go shoot with us.
And you can sign this.
Yeah, you sign it. And that's what we want to do. When we start getting interviews and stuff, we're going to get people to start signing our banner with a silver Sharpie.
So, hold on. Can I
the merch?
Yeah. All right. So look, this is an ignorant nerd hat, right? If you support us, right? We're not asking for much. What comment? So I can give this away. You sign it, I sign it, we give it away.
Yeah, let's do that.
No, I'm just saying, what comment are we looking for?
The 10th?
The 10th?
Or whatever. What
no,
number?
You tell me.
Number.
Comment, I don't know. Comment, he signature.
First one to comment, ignorant nerds.
All right. Done.
First one to comment, ignorant nerds. Send us, DM us your address. We're sending you a ignorant nerds hat. Signed by us.
Signed by us.
Right. Okay, and the value's only going to get better because as the show goes on, the value of the hat's going to get better.
And I'm gonna be real with you. This is the first hat.
Yeah, very first.
The first hat. First hat. We giving you the first hat signed by him, Tico, signed by Chuck. Done.
Right.
What are you gonna sign? Technical citizen.
I'm gonna sign it, Tico.
All right. So Tico and Chuck.
Yep. I might sign it, Cowboy. Hell, I might sign it Daffy Duck like I used to do my checks back in the day, but that's another story. Hell yeah, boy, that's how you call it. Like, somebody that stole my checks. What's it say? Daffy Duck, that ain't me.
Bitch, I want my money back.
I want my goddamn money.
All right. Let us get a comment. That's yours.
Yep. All right. It's comment, the ignorant nerds rock.
What's the comment? You said the first comment?
Yeah, the first comment. The first person to comment, the ignorant nerds fucking rock. Or you want to say something different? What you want to say? Because they're going to have to go deep into the show.
No, that's what you said.
They're going to have to go deep into the show to figure this out.
That's what you said, bro.
Okay, so look. First person to comment, the ignorant nerds fucking rock. Okay?
Autographed. By the way, it's going to be autographed. Right now, it's not autographed, so I don't want nobody to say they got signatures all over the motherfucker when we get it.
Yeah, it's fresh.
It's not autographed. This is the first hat we ever made.
First hat
we ever made.
First hat coming out.
I'm signing it. Tico signing it.
Yep.
Tico. Because y'all be like, what the fuck is his name?
Yeah. Okay, so let me get into that real quick.
Okay.
We're good.
No, so get in camera.
So Tico is a Japanese version of it, and my dad just happened to see somebody playing in the ABA. For you guys that don't know anything about history, that was before the NBA, right? And during the NBA. But there's a guy by the name, I think it was Tico Johnson. It was spelled Japanese, Teiko. My dad decided that he loved that name and gave it to me while he gave Americanized names to the rest of my siblings.
Your dad is a junkie. I wanted to know. I never knew that. This is new to me. Yeah. His dad is a junkie. What the fuck you coming with this bullshit?
No, that's it. That's what he told me.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that, guys. I didn't know that.
In St. Louis, they had the ABA.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
The ABA.
So he seen some dude named Tico, and he thought it was a dope name. Fuck. I mean, it is what it is, but it separated me from the crowd. Right?
Yeah.
It is what it is. So anyway, hey, listen, we appreciate you guys. We appreciate you tuning in to the Ignorant Nerds podcast. We appreciate you because this podcast, this episode 2, is probably going to be about 2.5 hours long.
We just getting started.
Yeah, we're just getting started, and we'll get our timing down and we'll get everything together.
3 we shooting. That's what we do.
Yeah, episode 3 we're going.
You know what? Hold on one second. We shoot a lot. We shoot a lot. We don't show a lot because we trainers, right? By nature, we trainers. Like we train. And trainers don't do a lot of shooting. We try to educate, but we do shoot a lot. So we gonna go to the range so y'all can see we shoot.
Definitely.
Because I know a lot of y'all niggas from Brooklyn be like, yo, if you ain't shooting, you ain't showing. So I already got that text message.
And what we're going to do is we're going to recycle some of our Instagram videos. I got plenty of videos of Chuck shooting long range, Chuck shooting pistols, myself as well, and we'll start shooting those up as the shorts. You've already seen some of them. Chuck shooting, I think I posted that video, you shooting 838. Yeah, long range and stuff. I got the mile stuff and everything that we can post and everything. And we're going to do some current shooting. Now, we don't want you to think that that we've lost our skills because, as Chuck says, shooting skills are perishable. And we got to make sure that you guys got some up-to-date videos to show that our skills haven't perished.
Funny shit about it is you said that I shoot 838. Mm-hmm. How the hell you going to question somebody shooting 838?
Not at all.
But, all right.
Hey, listen, check it out. We love you. Appreciate you. It's the Ignorant Nerds. We're signing off, man. It's been a great episode 2. I love this dude. Greatest co-host that you could ever have.
And we only going to get better.
What you say, Brownsville, stand up.
Brownsville, Brooklyn, stand up. Y'all know what it is.
Lawrenceville, Gwinnett County, Georgia, stand up.
Can I ask you a question? Why the fuck you keep shouting out Lawrenceville when I say Brownsville?
Because it's got Ville on the end of it.
I know. I used to do the same thing for Brownsville and Lawrenceville.
Listen.
I used to do the same thing. I'm from Lawrenceville.
Well, listen, I actually wish it was Tansville. Brownsville and Tansville would put us right where we need to.
I'm not doing that bullshit. Hey, Brownsville, Brooklyn, stand up. This motherfucker crazy as shit. Hey, shout out to Brownsville.
Hey, and as always, take her easy. And if she's easy,
take her twice.